Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the turbulent depths of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Jason Phelps, and I am joined, as ever, by Robbie, Birthday Girls Bellekom, Sam, Bristol Chills Burns, and Ellie, Brisket Curls Sparrow.
What?
So sort of like you know when you slice off the brisket from meat and then presumably it curls.
What is the brisket on a meat?
I don't know. I'm a vegetarian.
It is a cut of beef, I believe, from the side. I
thought a brisket was a stew, which is why I was confused that it could be a curl.
No,
because I thought you could get brisket, which was like soupy stew.
I thought maybe brisket beef is for putting in brisket.
I don't know.
Stowaways, tell us.
Write to us if you want. Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary,
Happy
everyone!
anniversary!
It has now been 1 year at the time of recording since the four of us first sat down and actually played our first game all together in person. We'd all played with each other to some degree beforehand, apart from Robbie and Sam.
It was actually the day they met.
Yeah, the day before.
The night before.
The night before. April the 3rd, and we played our very first game together, which is a one-shot, nominally titled Celestia Stardust and the Lightning Tigers, which involved the original incarnation of both Fighty Gubbenswick and Celestia Stardust, with Celestia as sort of, a rocking bard out on a touring show.
With absolutely no backstory.
No backstory, yeah.
She was very definitely just like, I want to be silly, and then she was great and I loved her and she stayed forever. So it's run by Sam.
Yay! Sam
ran the one shot.
Filming that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was a Goliath blood hunter.
Oh, you were my bodyguard.
I was the henchman.
Yeah, it was like Celestia and her roadies.
Yes.
Yeah. It was
Her
great
entourage,
fun.
yeah. And wasn't Fighty like her personal tailor?
Yeah, just the costume,
Yeah.
It is also...
We didn't fight a dragon.
Indeed. We are also recording the day after my birthday.
Yay!
Birthday.
Amongst many other gifts, I have this, which is a
fidget spinner.
It sounds like a fidget spinner. It is a D20 ring with a rotating outer part on inner part with with the numbers 1 to 20, so I can roll dice with this. I will attempt not to just idly spin it during the podcast as much as possible.
It is the best thing to just spin that.
Yeah.
Speaking of idly spinning, it's time for future Jason to spin us a yarn about messages from the present. I'll spin your yarn. Wait, is that a threat or a pickup line? Either way, it's future Jason with messages from the present. Libris Arcana offers monthly or quarterly dice subscriptions. Head over to librisarcana.com and for less than $12, just under 9 quid, you'll receive a set of 7 premium dice and 1 randomly selected bonus die every month to sate the will of the die-hungry beast below. This month's set is what happens when you've just had a princely rainfall and the weather is warm and muggy. Purple haze, purple haze. Yes, I'm going to do that every week that they're running that dice set. Dungeons and Dragons is a great game, best played with dice from Libris Arcana, but we like to broaden our horizons here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. We're very enthused, for instance, by the My Little Pony role-playing game, Tales of Equestria. We may have more to say on that in future weeks. But what if there were other tabletop games, board games, or CRPGs based off popular animals? With that in mind, here are our 5 best animal-based pitches for games that might have been. Stop horsing around! You are a racing horse, ready for your first race at the Grand Derby. But if you're going to race, you need to have a good night's sleep. The only problem is, those burros in the next barn over won't stop partying. You'll just have to kill them all. Saving bacon! You were a happy little piglet in a sty until the day your swineherd received the prophecy that told them they were the chosen one, destined to save the world. The only problem is, they're an utter klutz. As a loyal swine, it's up to you to keep this idiot alive, or that dragon is sure to turn you into a hog roast. Cock ring! It's the Bantamweight Championship, and you are a plucky little cockerel seeking to wet his spurs and make his name. Face off against other cocks in a series of quick-fire battles, working your way up to challenge the title holder, Prince Albert. Disclaimer, real-life cockfighting is terrible. I just like making dick jokes. Go play Pokemon instead. Sheepish. A dating sim where you try and romance the ewe or ram of your choice, trying to get in your moves before Farmer Swill comes with his crook to drag you back to the pen. Taking your date to such exciting locations as the Perilous Cliff, the Ominous Woods, and the Ha-Ha may increase your chances of success, but beware the wolf. Little Red Riding Wolf. You are a wolf, hungry for the flesh of grandmothers. Sadly, your forest got paved over and is now a quaint Midwestern suburb. You must employ a series of disguises and impersonate humans if you are to survive and taste the tasty flesh of elderly retirement folk. Listen up for a spot from our friends over at the D&D Grandma during the break this episode. We did an interview with Pod UK. Huzzah! You can check out the interview in episode 4 of their podcast, the Pod Ucast, via the link in the episode description. We had a grand time recording it, and Brett, Jess, and Chris were great hosts. Pod UK is an annual podcasting convention for UK podcasts in Birmingham, and each Friday the Pod Ucast delves into the stories of audio artists from across the podcasting spectrum. Go check it out. We are back at London MCM Comic Con, Saturday the 25th of May. We're still not guests or anything, maybe next year, but we love going to these, and we love meeting stowaways. So, if you are heading to the convention on that day, tweet us, or just look for the 4 deranged shanty singers, and we would love to say hello. And that's it for announcements this time. Back to you, Past Jason. Spin! Spin, you madman! Spin! It's out of control!
Did we peak the mic? We probably
We
did.
definitely
peaked
did.
the mic.
It's
Enjoy
fine.
that,
It's
listeners.
fine.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'll try to remember to normalise this so it's not too bad.
R.I.P. headphone listeners.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're all
guys.
dead. We're going to have a lot less downloads. Oh yeah, we hit 25,000 downloads last night as well. On Jason's birthday. So
You're all
a year
getting this with
after...
a 6-week delay, by the
So
way.
a year after the crazy one-shot that we did not think would last for a year. When we started a podcast, it's now we're at 25,000. That wasn't a sentence, but it's exciting.
Yes!
We had a lot of whiskey yesterday, guys.
It's fine. No one's hungover. No one at all.
No.
I'm not.
I had brandy.
It doesn't count as hungover if you're still drinking.
No.
No one drinks while recording. We're very, very mature.
No, I've never drunk. There's not a bottle of scotch in the middle of the table. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I can't actually see it because the mic's in the way. Not that
Probably
it's
all
there.
for the good.
Not that it's there.
And speaking of
Things that aren't there.
D&D, one could say, is a story of things entirely made up
mine.
of things that are not there. I
And
don't know.
you know that, yeah, it looks like yours. It's a cool bone, won't die. And speaking of dying,
No.
Stop.
No. I
Let's
forbid it.
play D&D.
it's time for Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously, on Flintlocks and Fireballs, the party have returned to the half-drowned city of Kion. After a month since the Kraken's destruction of the city, there are still some survivors trapped within the walls, eking out a living amongst the unquiet dead. With the majority of the city having fled, or been killed, tens of thousands have arisen from the dead, ready to... Well, it's unclear whether they're wreaking vengeance or just kind of hungry with regards to the living, including legions of zombies, wights able to control the recently risen dead, and at least one horde of ghouls travelling in a pack of 30, devouring living and dead all that they can see. There are pockets of survivors, however. On the southern side of the city, you've heard tales of of a few different groups. The Horns, whomever they may be, who seem given to wild partying. The Wagoners, hauling out in the ruins of the chateau that was destroyed in the Kraken's initial strike. And beyond the walls, which are bricked up and somewhat patrolled to keep the dead from escaping, a small camp of soldiers. To the north, there are those who have gathered in the safety of the cathedral under the auspices of the bishop, whoever that might be, and those who have taken the protection of the local crime lord and Fisher King, the Wolverine, less flatteringly sometimes called the Glutton. On top of this, Sawagin have begun emerging from the bay, capturing the living or the dead, as well as whatever treasures they can loot, and dragging them back into the water. While you have found an mostly, we'll say like 2/3 complete hull of a 5th-rate frigate, not yet able to sail under its own power, but certainly capacious enough to bring a large amount of survivors or loot out of the city with you. In order to do so, you've hatched a plan which will require both a degree of very lucky wind and the direct assistance of the Hesperidia. And Captain Briggs is unwilling to head in and engage in that sort of behaviour unless he can be assured that the ship will not be boarded in the process, something which the Sawagin present a threat to. However, given your mission from Old Mother Scrimshaw, and your interest in locating the journals of the artist Michel d'Evangelou, you have sought out the home of the collector Destin sous Colline. After receiving directions from the Glutton in exchange for a hearty sum, you purchased some supplies and have now made your way to the outside of Destin sous Colline's house, not far from the cathedral. It seems that the townhouse is actually a few different houses that have kind of been what was knocked through in between to form one very nice house. The windows all have iron bars on the outside to prevent casual theft. There is one door at the front that you can see that appears to be made of very heavy, sturdy oak, and one door at the back, around the back alley, which is, despite being a servant's access, also made of very sturdy oak. Both have clear locks to them, and in fact, both front and back door have 3 keyholes in them.
Okay.
You get the feeling.
Someone's crazy.
You get
Paranoid.
the feeling that that Destin, if he's as wealthy as it seems, probably cares about protecting that wealth. Although there are a few scratches and some marks of thrown things that have dented bits of the iron bars or parts of the oak doors, it seems that no one has successfully managed to break into the house in the chaos of the last month.
I mean, is he still here?
I think so. I think that was the implication, was he's...
Yeah, we're not really trying to steal from him, are we? Can we just knock?
Well, he's got something we need.
True, but
We're not
we
trying
don't have to take it. We could just ask him to read it.
He's probably got the thing we need for Scrimshaw. almost certainly.
Probably do need to
The thing
steal
with
that, don't we? Yeah. Out of character, what was that? I'm having a real
So
moment. What was it
Scrimshaw
with
has
Scrimshaw?
asked you to retrieve a specific jar of preservation. You have a sketch of it.
Mhm, and it's from this
Yep,
man.
and she gave you a little charm that will glow if touched to the jar if it is the correct jar. She's
Cool.
asked you to return the jar unopened and intact,
Great.
Okay.
along with its contents.
And she said that it's here.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, no, we do need to steal from him. Sorry, I'm having a moment.
Or he might be open to bartering.
If we can buy it off him, I mean, we've got a lot of money. It looks like he has two.
Yeah. He
Maybe
might...
we could make a deal.
Oh, don't use that word.
Sorry,
That word never ends well for us.
Also,
Clara sort of rolls her eyes, and Leah folds her arms, gives you a look.
See? We've been saddled
was a
with the
joke.
consequences of our
It
decisions.
was a joke.
No offense.
I know it was a joke. Still, it does seem to be quite tightly locked up, doesn't it, says Leah?
Really does. You've got picks.
Yeah, I've also got the ability to knock and say hello.
if I'd been holed
Yeah.
up for over a month, barricaded in my own home, I'm not sure I'd respond too well to that. He's probably suffered much worse during that time.
But if the big old gangs of thieves haven't got in either.
Yeah, they're probably more likely to go for things that are easy targets. This is not an easy target.
True, very true.
Might be worth trying being nice. We're
To be
quite
honest,
invested.
we are just stood outside the house talking about it. He's probably seen us.
Probably.
Corzin, there's a moment where, because of your passive perception, you just hear a sort of slight skittering sort of sound, like something scratching on the top of on a rooftop nearby, not on top of Destin's house.
Okay.
Probably a house that's about 2 to the left.
All right. I turn around to the direction of it.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
What?
I heard something.
Oh.
That's 9.
Can't
Where?
see anything.
It's on one of the rooftops, I think.
Okay, we need to get to
I mean,
some
it could be
cover.
ghouls or something. We should get inside.
We're
Yeah.
trying knocking.
Hello?
We've come for tea.
No response. Are you the front or back door?
I guess front.
Yeah, I think
I
front
feel
door.
like front. I don't
Yeah.
think we've...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we try the back?
There's a nice solid sort of brass knocker, one of those ones with like a lion's head and the knocker in its mouth.
Yeah.
Is anyone home? We just want to talk.
Make a persuasion check.
Go on then. Natural 20.
Nice.
Fucker.
Okay, there is an awkward pause. There's a pause, and just as you begin sort of thinking about other tactics, you hear a very muffled voice. Excuse me?
Hello?
Hello there. Are you burglars?
No, darling.
Oh, fantastic. Who are you?
Celestia Stardust. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Destin's who calling in.
Oh, hello. Heard all about you.
Oh, fantastic. Wait. But sorry, why are you here?
We wanted to talk about some things with you. We heard you might have some exciting stuff in there.
Oh, well, actually, I have a variety of collections, but
We're art history enthusiasts.
Yes.
make a deception check.
That is a 15.
Oh, I say. Oh, wait.
Pretty
If
deceptive.
you're a real art history enthusiast, you'll be able to tell me who your favourite painter is.
Oh, easy.
Leah, help me. Leah.
Michael
Oh, yes, I'm also a great fan of Michel
Michelle. I can't read my own thoughts.
Oh, well, that seems reasonable. Just give me a moment. You hear the sounds of multiple locks and bolts being withdrawn.
Keep a lookout, everyone.
Can I have a look at the roof where Corzin was looking at?
Yeah, give me a
It's really making
perception
me.
check.
I'm worried something's going to jump us as soon as
Yeah.
the doors open. Okay, it's a 15.
You see nothing. However,
Doesn't make me feel better.
as the last sort of series of locks get undone, the door creaks open a little, and you can see a very pudgy halfling man's face peering through, just the face. You can see he has a meticulously styled black ringlets of hair and a curled moustache. Oh, hello. Oh, I say. Oh, rather interestingly dressed for art historians. And I suppose, and you do have a lot of weapons.
It's a dangerous street. Can we come in,
true.
please?
Yes, please, do come in.
It pays to protect oneself in the current situation.
Oh yes, no, absolutely. And he ushers you in and then closes the door and starts locking like 17 bars and bolts and locks behind it.
You're well protected, aren't you?
Oh, you can't be too careful. In this current situation. You can see that there is despite his jolly expression, there's a little bit of worry to Destin. He is a halfling man. He is very fat. He's roughly spherical.
Still.
And
That's
about
actually impressive.
and he's about 3.5 feet tall, roughly spherical. He is wearing a struggling golden waistcoat, trying to keep it all in, over a light purple ruffled shirt, plum-coloured breeches, light teal tights, and immaculate gold buckled black shoes. Sort of finally finishes
It's
closing
called
the
me
door.
Gordy. What a dick. Fuck off.
Corzin, if Corzin notices either of you sort of staring at his rotundness, he'll just sort of whisper quietly to you, most halfling houses have like 3 months redundancy as far as food goes. He'll be fine.
So roll a deception check.
Sensible.
Yeah, he didn't seem to hear that.
Okay.
Oh,
I like your outfit.
oh, thank you. It was the absolute latest in fashion 2 months ago. I haven't really been able to keep up with fashion.
Yeah.
What with the whole stuck in my house thing. Would you care for some tea?
Yes.
Excellent,
Really
excellent.
lovely.
One moment. Just make yourself comfortable in the sitting room. And he gestures over to this ridiculously appointed sitting room. It has beautiful silk-covered white cushioning on the varnished mahogany dining chairs. There's a low coffee table with the thing is.
Halfling low.
Yeah, but he does have some human height chairs as well as some halfling height chairs, and there is a sort of side table for human guests. Yeah, so the whole of his house is luxurious. He has the finest wallpaper with elaborate imported patterns from Faraz. There are a number of very heavy and aesthetically pleasing marble statues of people, mostly halflings, some humans, engaged in various pleasing poses. You recognise a number of these as being historical busts, or at least Leah does, and points them out to you. Oh, no, that was an empress. That was an empress.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Well, at least those ones you're sure aren't the result of being turned to stone.
Yeah, did wonder.
Yeah.
Well, can I just double check the front door is properly locked?
Give me an investigation check while he's off getting tea.
Oh dear. 18.
It does actually appear to be very solidly locked.
Okay.
There are a number.
Checking.
There are a number of. There are also a lot of exquisite landscapes, a few portrait paintings. Just the whole house is just decorated with art. Leah, I guess you can make a
Leah
check for
knows
this.
everything,
Yes,
yeah.
Leah? Oh well, these are some fantastic replicas.
Oh.
Oh, you can tell. You see, there's the. She gestures down and says, "You can see where next to the artist's signature there is a replicated by signature. He must have the original somewhere else."
Do you know everything?
I know a lot of. I studied art.
You know everything.
She smiles.
So how are we playing this? Should we just ask him?
Clara is just
about
sort of
things?
studying everything quietly, not saying much.
Well, Michelle D'Angelo first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's just something we need information. We don't
And
need a
then broach
physical
the
thing.
jar after that.
He,
Because we do need that.
There's also the Eye of the Storm. So,
True.
If we can at least establish that he has it, because this is the closest that we've come yet to being able to track it down.
And a bit more about what it means and what it's for.
Yeah.
I might know stuff about it. Even if we can't get it off him, it would still be good to know about it.
Agreed.
Shall we try playing nice?
Yeah.
See how it goes?
But I'd say be ready for a fight. Not necessarily him, but I trust your ears, and you heard something. We didn't see anything, but
There's a lot about.
if you hear something, something's there. And it feels like something's watching.
There's sort of, you hear the sound of the door opening from the kitchen.
I jump.
Hey,
A small amount of fire in my hand and it goes.
Oh, yes. And he comes in, there's a sort of clinking sound as he pushes through a chintz tea tray. And says, can't get the staff these days.
Yeah.
Really can't get the staff.
I mean, they're all... Yeah,
Yes.
never mind.
But here we go, and he starts, and he gets out a little teapot, and I suppose I'll pour.
Lovely, thank you.
Is it
Pours out.
just you here?
Yes. Well, you see, when everything broke out, I'd sort of given the servants the day off
Okay.
to spend some time with their families, and I was just, relaxing at home, reading a few things. And then everything, sort of went, a bit...
Sideways.
Yes, that's the yes.
Your house is in an amazing state, considering.
Well, between you and me, as fellow art historian,
Of course.
Everett, I do get a lot of people trying to steal my things. So, I had to invest in quite important security.
Oh, yes, it looks like you have some very valuable stuff in here.
Oh,
be
yeah.
careful.
Oh, this is just some of the... most of the stuff's in the vault.
Of course. These are
Well,
replicas,
vaults.
clearly.
Oh, yeah, yes, I
As an
keen eye.
expert in art history.
I mean, actually, the statues aren't, but I'm not too worried about them getting stolen. It's difficult to, lift a whole statue out.
They're quite heavy.
Quite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that someone hasn't tried before. That was, so Jason said. But of course, normally I'd also have some guards in here as well. But the less thought about that, the better.
Have you had much trouble with looters since it all went down?
Oh, every now and again, people will try and rattle at the door and try all sorts of tricks to let me in. If you hadn't known about Michelle, I'm not sure I'd have let you in.
What if there were the chance to get out? Would you be interested?
Well, between you and me, yes, I am. I'm somewhat comfortable here, but I've only got another, 4 months of food left. By the way, I have some biscuits. They are kind of dried, sort of almost ship's biscuits. Sorry, normally I'd do sort of a fairy cake, but I'm really down to the dry goods at this point.
Fair enough, darling.
And the tea. I've got plenty of tea in. And,
You said you usually have guards.
yes.
Did you give them the day off too?
No, when everything went, sideways,
Sideways.
they went out to try and see if they could find their families, and
Oh, yeah.
then they didn't come back.
No family yourself?
Not in some years. What can I say? He just shrugs a little.
That's okay.
No, never really,
It's not for everyone.
But, yes, no, it's last of my line, that sort of thing. Still got the estates to draw money from, or if I can get out of here. Speaking of getting out of here, yes, I would actually quite like to get out. I do have a few things that might be worth taking with me, if that's the case.
yes.
At the very least, I need, some of the things from down below that I don't necessarily just want to leave here while I'm away.
Sensitive stuff, I'm sure.
Well, the emeralds, for one. I've got a bowl full of emeralds down there that would make it a lot easier for me to get passage on a ship, that sort of thing. And, paying my way while I'm waiting for this whole business to get cleared out. I was really hoping the army would have come in by now, and that's what I'm mostly waiting for. And
They're somewhat occupied currently.
oh dear, there's that whole business with the the National Assembly?
Yeah.
National Assembly, don't
It's
Okay. Have they put them down yet?
no, quite the opposite.
No.
Oh, I see. Oh, well,
King's moved in.
I suppose that's a good thing. I don't really keep up with politics that much.
I hate to say it, but the army's outside, but they're not coming in.
Oh, dear.
They're kind of leaving it to play itself out.
Yeah,
Dear,
they're
oh dear.
running more of a containment operation.
And that's not likely to, change anytime soon because the gangs are holding out.
I mean, you might be all right with 4 months of food. It's quite a long time, but
Well,
then again, it's not really, is it, for a city to right itself?
Yes, I'd really rather not be here if I could. But I can't leave without some of my things, and I can't get my things right now because.
I mean, no one's in the air, are they?
No one's in the what?
Air.
What?
No one's.
Do you have an eagle? Is that how you got here?
No,
darling, no.
but there's nothing to stop a single individual flying out the city.
Not
No,
really.
not especially. I mean,
if you had a mage, perhaps. Not really my area of expertise.
But could you carry the things you needed?
I suppose if I just took the stuff that I could take in a backpack, yes, conceivably.
You could do 1 bag.
I could do a bag, yes.
This could be doable.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
the worst case scenario is that the army saw you and took offence.
I don't know why they would, though.
No.
It's not like there's a
No.
disease going around or something.
No.
Like, it's just...
You'd have to be
Are
very
one of
unlucky.
you a mage?
Possibly. We can talk about that later. So...
But it's just that I notice you're obviously very well armed.
Hmm.
Are you an art historian yourself, or did you sort of employ this gentleman as
He's
protection?
my bodyguard.
Oh, fantastic. I had assumed. No offence. I've known a few well-armed art historians in my time.
Yes, well, one
6 of his teeth.
one has to protect oneself, doesn't one?
None of you have actually drunk any of the tea yet, have you?
No,
I've
not
had some.
yet.
Okay, no, it's quite a spicy sort of tea. Has there's definitely a sort of East Haldanic taste to it. You're familiar with it. There's saffron in there as well.
Is it like tea from below? I think we
It's
talked-
more like tea that would be imported down to below. It seems
So
like
I've had it, but
you've
it's
had
not
it
like
before,
the
but it's
tea.
not from below.
Right.
Yeah. There's no mushroom in this.
We're nerds.
Yeah.
We know what tea they had.
Yeah.
But no,
Tea,
this is it has a lovely smoky taste. It is very expensive tea.
This is very nice tea, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Corzin will try a little bit.
And similarly, it's very nice tea.
I'm going to stick my
For
tongue
tea.
in it.
Corzin's had it.
It's quite nice.
Mm.
It's like a sort of saffrony lapsang souchong.
Yeah, I figured.
So, we'd like to have a bit of a chat, if that's all right.
Oh,
We have some things we were told you might be good to talk to about, some things that you might have that we might
Yes.
be interested in. We could possibly negotiate some sort of passage in return.
well, I suppose I'm certainly willing to talk about passage out.
Alright, well,
What is it you're looking for? He sort of glances between you a little nervously,
a couple of things.
particularly eyeing up the weapons that Corzin has.
We're not here
I'm
to
not
fight.
brandishing them or anything.
I know, you just have them though.
Yeah.
It's like,
I see him looking nervously and just go, we're not here to fight, darling.
Oh, oh.
It's all right, don't worry.
are you capable of fighting?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Continue.
Always helpful in this sort of climate, isn't it?
Yes.
So, let's, one at a time.
Start with the easy one, I guess.
Yeah, we'll start. So, Michel d'Angelo.
Ah, yes, the painter.
Yes, we heard that you might have some of his journals. We're looking for some information from them.
Well, as a matter of fact, I do actually quite the collector's item. Yes, they're down in the vaults,
Oh, lovely.
along with some of his last original paintings.
Oh, beautiful.
I actually have a replica over there.
yeah.
He points to one of them.
Very into art.
I
so,
recognised it. It's a beautiful piece of work.
So, we were wondering if we could...
Terrible. Sort of business with that fellow.
Dreadful. We were wondering...
A lot of tragedy in his life.
Oh,
Yes.
we were wondering if you wouldn't mind us having a little read of them.
Oh,
You wouldn't even have to give them to us. We'd
no,
just want to have a look
no,
through.
Under ordinary circumstances, I'd be very happy to let you take a leaf through.
What do you mean under ordinary circumstances? What's going on?
So I haven't really been in the vault in the last month.
Because...
What's in the vault?
I'm not sure, and I don't want to find out. I can just hear a sort of growling and scratching sound coming from down there.
Everyone's favourite noise.
Right. Okay.
There's possibly several somethings.
I've got a reasonable
bollocks.
knowledge of various different animals. Could you describe... well, did they sound like they were larger than humanoid size? Any guess at numbers?
I wouldn't know about
Quadrupedal,
size.
bipedal?
Kind of like a scratching, stony sort of sound, maybe like some more scratching stone. I mean, the vault walls are made of stone.
So
Okay.
claws.
And then just a sort of like a sort of sound, maybe
That was
like a
very
low
good.
sort of
Like
thing.
a
goodness,
like
it's
a
like it's
more
in
of
the
a
room.
bleh or a bleh.
a more of a
Bleh.
yes.
Large then. All right.
Not bleh.
No, definitely more of a.
And
Bleh.
no like words or anything. It's not a load of undead.
Don't think I heard anything like words. Although bear in mind, I've got my ear to the vault door. And it's like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Quite a thick door.
Oh
So
yes,
it's
no,
safe
no,
to get that
several
far.
steel doors.
Would you
down
mind if we had a listen?
there. Oh no, by all means. They don't make. I haven't heard the sounds all the time, but just often enough that I'm not really keen to go down there.
Do you hear the sounds at night or during the daytime?
I think slightly more during the night.
Okay.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
sweet well.
Yes,
Right.
yes, I do.
So nocturnal then.
Fortunately, one of my guards left their crossbow here, and I just sleep with old Bertha now.
Probably a sensible
That's
precaution.
probably really, really sensible.
All
Your
right.
vaults must be fucking secure. Is there any food down there?
Oh no, that's all in the pantry.
So,
How long has it been there?
What, the food?
No, the monster.
Oh!
Monsters.
Oh, probably since this whole business started.
It's been there for a month without any food.
Well, I don't know.
Not everything needs to eat
I know,
regularly.
but that narrows it down as to what it could
Yeah.
be. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Most things do need to eat, don't
Is
they?
it sealed
Undead
in
don't.
terms of air?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So it's not breathing either.
Well, I mean, when we got the vault installed, there was a sort of a bit of a conversation with the architect. Like, if someone were to get trapped down there, they should have about a day or two's worth of air, because the idea was that we would be able to go in if we thought there was a burglar and arrest them, rather than just
Yeah.
Humane.
How do these vaults open? Do they
well, not a
have,
criminal.
Well,
Of
do they
course
have
not.
I wasn't
keys?
implying anything.
Oh yes. Yes, they are quite well protected. There are a number. There is well, actually, rather than keys, it's combinations. And there are a few traps. But I can help you through that. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Excellent.
And can they only be opened from one way, as it were?
Yes, they're not really designed to be open from the inside. They're designed to be open
Okay.
from the outside.
That could be a problem, couldn't it?
Which,
We'd have to, I mean,
well, if they could be open from the inside, I might be dead.
it's
Yeah.
true. We could,
That's very
we
true.
could very much potentially you carry on.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, no. He pulls out his finger, and there are a few rings on his fingers. He pulls off one of them, which is like it's like it's a thumb ring, but it's a thumb ring size for Corzin and like a pinky ring size for you, Celestia. And he tosses onto the table this little gold ring with a pearl on the top. Right. So had a dwarf make this for me.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. So that has a couple of little uses, and he taps a ring that he has on his other finger, which matches it on his other thumb. This is, I believe the term is a ward marker, which means just having it on you, should allow you to get past any of those magical traps that I had installed without them activating.
Very good. Would it only get one person past?
I think just having it in the room should be enough.
Okay.
I've brought people down to look at the collections before, and it's never given me trouble then. So, but I think it needs to be in the room with you when you open the door. And also, as an extra benefit, because there are monsters down there, and I don't want to go into my vaults right now, I can talk to you through my through this one.
So you'd be able to let us out if we...
Yes, you can. You just give it a rub, and you talk into it, and I'll hear you.
Okay.
And then if you want me to open the doors, I can open the doors.
So we could potentially make a deal here, couldn't we?
Well, come to a mutually beneficial arrangement, certainly.
Yeah, this feels like business we could do.
Yeah.
No doubt, says Clara, who's leaning back. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Would you like some tea? I'm all right. Leans in towards you, like about a foot away from your head cousin. That one's a little creepy, isn't she?
I reply in halfling, yes, but only until you get to know her.
Oh, we're in.
so dumb. Oh, I love it. But,
The information in the diaries is one of the things we are interested in.
Right.
And it seems that we can do a couple of things for you. We can get you out. We can get you into your
You
vaults.
mentioned flying.
We
Can
can
one of
clear your
you
vaults.
do that for me?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, yes, definitely. Very interested in that, and especially the clearing of the vaults so I can go down and get what I
Yes.
need. If you do clear those vaults, then I should be able to come in, grab the things I need, especially that bowl full of emeralds.
Oh, yes.
Very definitely. That's a very important one.
There were a few things that we had that you might have that we'd be very interested in seeing,
Certainly.
as well as the diaries. And
What are you interested in?
Well, there's a particular preservation jar. We have a way of testing if it's the right one that we need.
Oh.
We haven't been told what it does.
Oh, I got that from a Ferocian collector. That must have been 29 years ago. Yes. Oh, yes, that's fun. Well, it's one of the things I'd be looking to take with me, but I guess you could, have a look while you're down there, or, take it with us.
We need the jar.
We have a mutual friend who would be very interested in purchasing it or acquiring it.
Oh, I see. Well, how about you take me with you to that mutual friend of yours, and I can sort of, discuss with them while we bring the jar. Because maybe I might have something I can offer them for it back, or, we can work something out.
You don't want to do that, darling.
Oh.
They're a very private individual.
Oh, I quite understand. I know a number of people who prefer to keep their inclinations secret.
Also,
My dear friend Gunter, for one.
What does this
jar do?
You're friends with Gunter.
Well, the jar just keeps the thing inside intact.
Oh, well, it is the thing that I believe that she is after.
It must be the thing, mustn't it?
It's not the jar, is it? Is it?
It's there's a plaque on it that says. It's slipping in my mind. I know it's a thumb, but I can't remember what's the thumb of. It's been so long since I've actually looked at that thing.
A thumb?
Yes, it's
Why
presumed
does
thumb.
she want a thumb?
She's a very private individual with
Oh, I
inclinations.
quite understand.
Yeah. So
Gunter.
that jar would be part of it. Also,
But it is the contents. We could organise for the return of the jar itself, possibly.
maybe,
Yeah.
but then we'd be getting somebody one deal deep. And I really worry about that.
But mostly, I'm just interested in what they want that jar for. I mean, it's really you can't. It's not easy to open, and I haven't tried. You can't open it without breaking the preservation effect, and it's
right,
mostly
the jar
interesting just for the for having it. Why else do you collect things?
We do need it, and it appears that you need to get out and get
Okay,
your
no,
things.
I'm willing to talk about
So-
that. That's something I'm willing to discuss. So, what's the other thing?
The other
I mean,
thing-
you are willing to clear out my vaults as well as giving me
yes,
a
of
ride.
course.
So
And
that's
all we want is to look at the diaries. Those are
Oh,
obviously
okay. No,
Yes,
I mean,
those you can keep. We don't need them. We just need to look at them.
fantastic. I'm always willing to share to share knowledge with fellow collectors.
That's very kind.
Doesn't cost me anything.
So the other thing is, we heard you might have a kraken's eye, and
What?
we were wondering. It's an eye thing, a green eye thing.
Called the Eye of the Storm.
I have a blue hawkseye gem. Looks
that
like
might be-
quite
that
like an
might be the
eye.
one.
Yes.
We were wondering if you knew anything about it, or if we could have a look at it, or anything, basically.
Oh yes, I don't really touch that because it gives you weird dreams. If you hold it for too long, so I just sort of put it down. But it's beautiful, like it's the largest sort of hawk's eye gem of that side. It's so beautifully shaped. I don't, but yeah, no, that's down in the vaults as well. It would be a shame because it's I had to pay a lot of money for it, but saving my life. That's
So,
certainly something I'm willing to
The jar, the
talk
eye,
about.
and a look at the diaries.
Yes.
What we'd be bargaining for.
Where did you? I mean, I'm surprised that you even know I have that particular eye. It's
You
in
are
the
a
default. I don't
collector
really show it.
of great renown. I would not
we're-
underestimate people's interest in you.
Yes, you're very
Roll-
famous, darling.
Roll a deception check.
I've got to stop being deceptive.
All I was going to say was,
Oh, okay,
That's not
no,
bad.
that's 23.
we're well-informed people. It pays to be.
Oh yes, most definitely. Especially you. It sort of appears at you for a moment, Scamp. Curious. I hadn't really known there were any tiefling art historians.
Yes.
but then...
I'm a prodigy.
Well, you can imagine it's a lot more of a secret.
Are you?
It's all down to my tutor, and I point at Leah.
I'm just going. Leah puts her arm around protectively and says, "Yes, I've been doing my best to educate them in the finer arts." Oh, yes, absolutely. He nods at Leah. So, out of curiosity, how old are you?
Good question.
Leah just says, "They're 14." Here's up. Oh, you are a prodigy. Do you know what? We should after this whole business is over, we should have some more tea and talk extensively.
I can't wait.
Oh, this is going to be so fun.
If we're still alive, yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Help me.
Okay.
I purposely am not looking Leah in the eye whilst I try not to laugh.
Looks up to Leah. And where did you find this absolute prodigy of a child? She goes, oh, you know, glances at you, around. Do you know, I've travelled so much I can barely remember. Where was it I found
Cove.
you? That was it. Scarrel's Cove. Yes, of course. Really? That little port.
Is there something under all this, or is he just...
Roll an insight check.
Oh no! Yes, I do.
I'm interested in
I
this
want
as
to
well.
too, is that
Okay,
alright?
okay.
Dirty
Natural
20.
One, but lucky.
18.
No, sorry, 18. I do
18.
apologise, I did my maths wrong.
Okay. He
17.
18, 17. What was your
18.
Scamp? Yeah. He seems very interested in your origin, Scamp.
I don't like it. I don't
I
like
just
it.
say, well, you know, when you find a gem in the rough, you've got to polish it up, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Ew.
speaking
Shut up.
speaking of gems. Oh, I say. Ooh. Someone seems to realise the reference.
That was just a slip of the tongue. Oh,
Oh, well.
Oh, no.
Leah is sort of...
Should we look at this vault?
Leah is
I
quietly...
sit down in my chair a bit and just drink my
It's
tea
just
and
quiet-
don't look at Leah.
Leah is just quietly choking on her tea.
Let's have a look at the vault.
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Because he's going to roll
So
a
are
deception
you
check to see
happy
how much
with
he doesn't
that as a
laugh.
price? The stone,
yes.
the jar, and a look at your diaries.
yes, if
To get you out
clear out those
and
vaults and
clear
get me, he points upwards.
Of course.
Of course.
That seems perfectly
We will
reasonable.
need to get out the
Yeah.
back because, the chimneys are. Have you ever encountered spinning blade traps before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. As I said,
Actually.
real problems with burglars.
Right.
Wow.
I did blunt them a bit so that they don't just, sever limbs.
You know, you can get like metal grates that go over.
Oh, we have those as well.
Because the spinning blades seem a little bit of a.
Well, there was a problem with a halfling wizard that shrunk themselves
yeah.
and then got enough to get through the grates, and then, they were terribly injured, and we had to patch them back up, as it were. And, well, the less thought about that, the better.
To the vaults.
To the vaults.
Yes, let's go. What a lovely day.
I was going to ask about the vaults. Are they particularly extensive, or
Oh,
is it
yes.
just one?
So there are 5 separate vaults. You have to get through one to get to each one.
I
I'll he sort of points to his ring. I'll tell you the combinations as we go through.
Fantastic.
Understood.
And you're hearing things at the first one.
Well, it's kind of quiet, and I've not really gone
Right.
Can I
in.
make an insight check to see if he's planning on locking us in these fucking vaults and
Make an
walking
insight check if
away?
you want.
Oh, bugger. That's a 6.
He seems very concerned about what's in the vaults.
Okay, fuck it. Let's do it.
Okay.
You're not going to lock us in the vaults like an usher, are you?
What? No! That's insane!
Sorry, we've met some really scary people lately and I'm really paranoid.
Of course, you know Gunter.
How do you know?
What is Gunther doing in his vault?
Well, one is young and one travels the world. And...
Oh, right.
Anyway, moving
He
on.
has something specifically designed for Dragonborn. Need I say more?
Let's go
Oh, you've
downstairs.
seen the saddle. Anyway, moving on.
We saw a great many things in his shop.
Scammer's just putting their hands over their ears.
So,
Again, I look at Leah and go, look away.
Leah's very red-faced. Clara just seems completely unaffected by this. Whether it's gone over her head or she just doesn't care, you don't know. She's just quietly walking after, just looking at everything, studying everything. Okay, so if we go through here and just take you past the kitchens, you walk through an extensive series of kitchens, past the pantry door. No need to go in there, that's the pantry. And here we go. Under the stairs, opens up a door. And there
What was in the pantry?
Well, the pantry door was closed, but he has said there is a lot of food that he's been keeping. Yeah.
Cool.
It's a halfling pantry.
So fucking paranoid, guys. Like, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
Halfling pantries, you would know, are extensive.
Yeah.
And they tend to be protective about their food.
Waiting for something to burst through a door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's
just like I'm getting vibes, you know?
How are they getting in or out of the vault, whatever's in there?
Well, presumably, if they weren't in there to begin with, they found some other means of getting in, but they've got no other means of getting out.
Or they're getting out and coming back.
Yeah, I'm going to close the door after you because I don't want monsters coming out. But just give me a rub. Sorry. When you want me to open the doors, you know.
Yeah, we'll do that. I say
Understood.
again, not looking at Lee.
Right.
Okay. Through we go.
Before we open the door, then, let's review what we know. We know that scratching,
It's big.
reasonably big.
Doesn't necessarily need food or air. Unless it's getting out and coming back in.
Or it has a way in and out.
Yeah. Shall we listen?
Yeah.
Might have a listen before you open the door, if that's all right.
So, having opened the door under the stairs, there is a huge circular steel door.
Oh, like a proper cartoon vault.
Proper
Yeah.
bank vault door.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you can see the what is under the stairs is actually there's steps that go down. You're now underneath the house. Then there is a solid stone wall, and then the huge vault, and you can see that there is a central sort of dial with numbers on it.
It's fine. It's just Scrooge McDuck in there swimming in his gold. We're fine. There's nothing to worry about.
Okay, you press an ear to the vault. Give me a perception check.
Just all three of us in a row.
Natural 1.
Natural
lucky.
20.
True!
I've forgotten to take my fingers out my ears, so it's not working.
You bump your ear on the wall,
21.
Corzin, and then I'm going to give it another hit. Silent, as far as you can tell.
It is daytime outside.
And it is daytime outside.
Can't hear anything.
Oh, good.
That's good. Are the vaults just sequentially one after the
Yes,
other?
one after the other.
Right, well that means that we can secure each one as we go.
Yeah.
And if we need to head back out and have a rest,
Mm-hmm.
that means we can also do that. If we're a bit fucked after one and we need to leave one for later, if you wouldn't mind it, if it might take a while.
No, absolutely.
But if we're really,
We can
really
retreat
injured, we
and
can
secure
retreat
ourselves.
back
Yeah.
and then
Yes.
go back in when we're okay.
If this thing is nocturnal, that implies it has a way in and out to some degree, because otherwise how does it know?
There are some animals that have an instinct for it rather than just being... Well, I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but I've heard there are some subterranean animals that work on a day-night cycle, even though they don't actually experience day or night.
That's weird.
Interesting.
Oh, sorry, I completely forgot. One important thing. When you rub the ring, you need to say, in order to talk to me, I can talk to you and you can hear me through it, but if you need to talk to me, not only do you need to rub it, you need to say the word fuzzy wumblefig 3 times. That's the magic word.
3 times?
Yes.
You couldn't have gone for a shorter one.
That's the word that the dwarf gave me when they made them. Fuzzy wumblefig.
3 times
Yes.
saying fuzzy wumbles. So we could be bleeding on the floor and we have to manage to get out fuzzy wumblefig 3 times.
Well, once the connection's opened, it stays open for a while.
Okay.
So if you think you're going into danger, just fuzzy wumblefig, fuzzy wumblefig, fuzzy
who the
wumblefig.
fuck designed that?
An eccentric dwarf. Or
I'm going to have such fun looking back at my notes in a few weeks going, what the fuck is that?
just one other thing. Are your vaults protected against scrying?
Oh, well, they are lead-lined, yes.
Oh, right.
That would be
How
a
are you,
useful thing to
how
know.
are you getting in contact with us with this ring then, if they're lead-lined?
Oh, this is actually designed specially to overcome that. There's little relay things.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good to
Set
know.
in.
Very good to know.
So
I
it
don't-
only works Through this lead, not any other lead.
Well, I mean, conceivably, but the problem is it doesn't go through the lead. You see, I don't understand the exact mechanics. The dwarf, when they installed it, said that they put a sort of channel into the vault doors themselves.
Oh, so it's actually the vault, not just
Yes.
the ring.
Yes.
Okay.
So the rings are keyed to the vault, and then the vault lets the rings go
Okay.
bypass the lead. Yes?
Yeah.
Right, good.
Excellent.
Shall we go into this vault and
Yeah,
say
do you
stupid
wanna-
words then?
Go upstairs, out the way.
One moment. Let me
Oh,
just
I'd
open
say
the
let's
door.
leave him near the door because he needs to be able to open it if we're
That
having
Just,
might
just
be
for the
best.
first one, though, in case something gets out immediately.
True. Okay.
He should be nearby to open it from the outside if we need it opened, though.
Well, I
if
guess
we
I
get
can
stuck.
stand well back and then give you the code now, and then
Stand
give us all
back,
the
but
codes,
not too far
definitely.
away because we might need you to open it if we
All
die.
right, here's a good idea then.
I'll-
Corzin is going to give everyone a very brief rundown of where they should be standing and what the most strategically optimal place to stand for a breach is. Essentially, like how you would do it if you were a group of soldiers about to secure a room.
Okay, so you've got some of you sort of behind the door, ready.
Yeah.
In
Someone
positions.
with a weapon trained on the door,
Okay, yeah.
and yeah.
Cool.
So you're in position with blunderbuss on the door.
Yeah.
One of you behind. One of you getting ready to open the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Which of you is opening the door?
I'll open it.
Okay.
The usual.
Does it open outwards or in?
Would it be a bad idea
opens
to me to open?
outwards.
Okay.
If it's about to burst out, it'll hit you first.
Actually,
am
if you are
kind of
opening the door,
shit.
you will be
I will-
behind the door when you
Okay,
open
that's
it.
all right.
Is the way the door's open.
Yeah, then,
I'll
then you
do
it.
that.
Yeah, the person in front will be Corzin with the
Yeah,
blunderbuss.
with the blunderbuss.
Which is the bit.
Yeah.
You should definitely be in front with all the guns, darling. Right.
Okay,
I'm going to open this door.
you're ready.
Who's got the ring?
You got the.
I've
You
got
took
the
it.
ring.
Yep. So you
Cool.
have it.
It's
Okay.
on my thing.
And so Destin is sort of hiding behind the far door. It's like, okay, so the code is 18, 42.
Blank.
36, 12, 1, 93. Yeah, there's a heavy click, and then there's a sort of there's a handle. It doesn't really like, and you sort of give it a turn, and pull it open. You ready yourself. There's an not empty. It's quite decorated vault within. No monsters that you can see. Everything all right?
Nothing visible yet? Are there any traps we should be aware of?
So far.
Yes. So there are some traps on the display cases in there. There are display cases. I'll describe the room in more detail when you go in. And there, and of course, the door, the far door, and you can see at the other end of this door, this chamber is basically like 20 foot by 20 foot.
Mm-hmm.
There is a matching heavy steel door. And that one is also trapped, but if you've got the ring next to it when you open it, then those shouldn't go off.
Great.
Unless you get the code wrong.
Okay.
But I'll tell you the code when just fuzzy wumble thing.
Can you give us all the codes now?
Okay.
Please.
It's a much better idea.
Good. Okay. So write this down. So the first one it should be 2, 16, 43. So you see him sort of wiggling his hand in the air as if he's trying to remember it by gesture. 84, 9, 30.
You don't sound sure.
6. I'm pretty sure it's 36 is the last one.
How sure?
Pretty sure.
How sure is he?
It could be 35.
Right. And then
Next one.
We're going to die because he can't remember the code. I say quietly to Corzin.
Okay, so the next one is 22.
This sounds stupid. Can I be looking for invisible creatures?
I was going to say, like,
You could. How would you like to look for invisible creatures?
Any movement of anything that shouldn't be any feeling of a draft, anything that.
Okay, give me a
Yeah.
I
give
used
me
my
a
potion,
perception
didn't I?
check.
Corzin will do that as well.
Yeah.
I will also have a go. Why not?
10.
there's a 2.
That is 13.
Okay.
None of you can perceive any invisible creatures to your best of your knowledge. Okay. The what did I get? 22, 44 for the second one.
Note, though, I've had an idea.
What?
32.
Well, they'll say the
Oh,
code.
okay, I'll say that
You
I give you the codes.
Okay,
I give you
yeah,
the
don't
codes.
give us. It'll
Yeah,
take too long.
and also it'll get really boring.
I'll
to
just
listen
write
to.
all the codes.
Yeah.
There are all the codes.
There you go.
Lovely.
Destin, do you
Yes.
have a bag of flour or some such?
Oh, I can certainly get you some from the pantry.
Small bag is all it would need.
Mhm.
If there's anything invisible to the naked eye down here, it's the easiest way to track them through an area. Just lay out a bit of flour.
Chuck flour at them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on the floor. If they're moving around, it will move it.
You have a point there. That would be great.
Oh God, it's super flammable. Okay, never mind. That's a thought though.
Oh, we probably can't destroy everything in here, can we?
Please don't destroy my life.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm
No.
saying you spread flour around. I chuck some fire. We're all dead. There was a bakery near us back in Scarrel's Cove. They weren't careful and it exploded.
That might be bad.
I thought that was only if the stuff's compact.
Does it
it's
have
in
to
the
be
air, it
flour?
can
Could it
ignite.
be like oats or
And
something?
we're in a
I, have some,
compact
I do have
vault.
some finely ground sugar.
That'd
Maybe
do.
that would be better.
Yes, please.
That'd do.
Sugar's
Roll,
not better, is it?
roll a nature check.
I feel like
Yeah.
I would know that.
Wait,
Yeah,
how
Sugar
finely
is
ground?
Very finely ground.
Okay, no, that's
It's
the
icing
same
sugar.
problem. Same problem.
But what about like oats
Sugar
or
would
something?
not be
Because that's
better.
that's something to put on the floor so to move it around, but it would.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
do have some oatmeal.
flammable.
Or even just maybe water.
No, it's too fine.
Yeah.
Salt.
Yes, got
The
salt.
burn. I don't know if salt burns in real life.
What? It's particles
rock.
in the air that are your issue. Because
Oh.
confined vault will act like a bomb, basically, if you fill it with flour in the air, because it will ignite and
Yeah.
expand, and it will. Yeah.
Oats, maybe.
Salt might be. Salt's on the floor. It's heavy enough particles. I would have thought. Am I right here?
It's rock.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so long as it's not too finely ground, he does have more sort of
We're
like
nerds.
rock salt.
Yeah.
Salt. He does have a certain amount of salt. I'll say he has a sack of salt, which is enough to cover. Roll me a d6.
Do you have like not
5.
too?
All 5 volts.
Nice.
Do you have like not too finely ground salt?
Yes. I mean, I usually like to put it in the shakers, so yes, I do it.
That should be all right.
Good heavy
Yeah.
sack
Yeah.
of salt.
Great.
Yeah.
Would you mind?
No, certainly not a problem.
And maybe if you stand in a room with your crossbow surrounded by salt.
Okay.
Because we've opened a door and we
I
don't
feel
know
like
if
I'm
anything
defending
came
myself
out.
against vampires or something, but okay.
I mean, we're getting
we
a
don't
little
know.
bit supernatural here.
We are a little
We're
bit.
getting a shotgun.
He drags in. He drags in a heavy bag of salt, pops it on the floor in front of you, steps back, and says, "I'll get my crossbow."
Maybe someone comes with. I'll come with you.
Okay, sort of leads you up to a room and pulls down a crossbow. Loads it. They
I
prefer the
just-
crossbow to a gun because it's quiet.
I have reservations about him being this far away. If he needs to let us out.
No, he can be in the room, but
Oh, like in the
Oh, I'm going to be outside the first door now that we know that there's
Yeah.
not monsters in there.
my
Perfect.
fear is we shut the door and then hear screaming from the other side.
You have a point there.
We don't know something's not come out.
I guess I will stand by the door.
Would
surrounded by
somebody have been
salt.
able to crawl across the ceiling from where we're standing? Because I'm thinking if we've opened the door, Corzin's standing right there. There are a number of people behind
Roll an
him.
intelligence check.
Yeah.
I'm so paranoid.
This is high advanced level D&D, guys. Oh, that's 1, but lucky.
I feel like we might be having a
Natural
chair.
20.
Okay, sort of bump into the
Halfling
your
look
head
is
for a
so
think about
good.
it. If it were, you were standing directly in front of the vault.
Yeah.
Now there's a bit of a gap between you and the vault.
Mm-hmm.
Something conceivably could, if it were invisible, have crawled over this from the ceiling of the vault up through without you seeing it or it touching you. If it was very agile and no larger than Celestia, or something of halfling size.
Okay.
I'm so anxious.
How about one of us waves a big stick around in this room to see if anything's come through?
That makes sense.
I mean, I would feel a little bit better.
Fuck it. I start waving my guitar around
Okay, you
and
wave your
try
guitar
and
around.
cover the whole thing.
Give me an attack roll with disadvantage.
I can see.
I'm not attacking something.
I know, but like if
But
there's
then
something
if there
there.
is something there, then you are.
One of them was a 20.
Oh.
So attack roll with my guitar. Oh, hang on. Fuck it. Where the fuck is my spell thing?
It's your spell attack bonus, which should be.
I think it's +7.
Yeah.
+8.
Plus
Plus
8,
attack.
sorry. So that is a 21. God, maths is hard.
Yeah, if there's something around you in this room that is invisible immediately around you, you feel like you would have hit it with the guitar.
I don't think I've asked this, but would your dancing lights actually, are they solid? Would they knock into something that was solid?
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay.
They light things first.
Yeah.
No,
Right, okay.
Okay.
good thought though.
Well, let's lock ourselves in a metal box and leave one person outside there. This is
We've got to go. Come on.
I know.
So
It's fine. If
you
we get stuck, we just have to wait till I level up.
look
Then
at
I
on
can
the
get out.
interior of the door of the vault. By the way, there is another handle with which one can use to close the door, but the handle cannot be used to open the door. It can only be used to close the door after you.
Okay.
So
I'm going to do a little test. Destin, can you hear us, darling, through the ring?
he's standing at the room. Don't forget the word.
Fuzzy wumble fig, fuzzy wumble fig, fuzzy wumble fig.
Oh, hearing you loud and clear.
Good, lovely.
good.
Right, it's working. I was so paranoid it wouldn't work. I'm sorry.
And you,
right,
and
anyway.
you hear Destin's voice coming. It doesn't actually sound like it's coming from the ring. It just sounds like it's coming from near your ear, like when you.
Can everybody else hear him?
Oh yeah. You can all hear it
Cool.
coming from like near Celestia.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we've all got the...
I mean, yeah. If you're
Yeah.
using those, you can also do
Yeah,
that.
true. We can talk to each other though. Not
Although you are going to be in a vault which is 20 foot by 20 foot, so you can
Yeah, so...
all hear each other.
Yeah,
no
because
problem.
we're not gonna-
Right,
unless
okay.
we get stuck on other sides
So-
of the doors.
In this first vault,
Okay.
what does it look like?
Stepping into the first roll, as you start chucking salt onto the floor. So apart from a floor which is now covered in salt, with stone before, no tracks show up in the salt as you do this. You look around. So the chamber contains a variety of valuable vases of different kinds of ceramic. One made here, and beautifully painted. There's a number of like classic Haldanic blue on white sort of China type vases.
like feel the nerves coming
yeah.
off Robbie. Like literally.
On little stone plinths.
I'm feeling your nerves. Like that's what's happening.
There are you would, by the way, you would guess that the vases. I'm going to ask each of you for an intelligence check, just for guessing the
Well,
value of everything you
I
see.
am an art historian, don't you know?
Of course. That's an 8.
That's an 11.
Intelligence.
Leah and Clara
16.
stepped in after you. 16. Okay. So, Corzin, you would guess that the vases in total are worth 600 gold pieces. There is a series of antique tapestries depicting various classical scenes and historic events, collectively worth about 500 gold pieces. And a glass display case full of fine silver jewellery, and many of which are studded with, and they're also next to them a series of amber cabochons and just differently shaped stones.
What are cabochons?
They are when you get a sort of sort of hemisphere like thing. They are rounded, polished stones.
Oh, yeah, I know what they are.
Yeah, rather than say like the cuts that you get for emeralds, which are more like box shaped,
Right.
or the classic diamond cuts.
Yeah.
The names of which are skipping my mind at the moment, but yeah, it's like a rounded type stone
That's cool.
as opposed to square cuts.
That's probably worth a fair amount, but I imagine it's...
The jewellery in these stones are worth 800 gold pieces collectively, you would say. If you took everything, if you looted everything in this room, it would fill one backpack.
Fuck me.
We've got 4 others to deal with. This is probably child's play compared to what's
There are
coming.
also a number of heavy statues of like jade and so on, and furniture, which are impractical to smuggle out in packs, but do have a volume if you killed Destin, came back, and just had a group of people to loot it all and take it to the ship.
I'm gonna look at Scamp's scared face and wave my guitar around all over the ceiling again.
Okay, give me an attack roll with disadvantage.
That is a 20. No, not a 20. An 18. I can't do maths today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm really struggling.
You sort of wave around at the ceiling.
Well, now I just feel like a dickhead.
Yeah. If there is an
Look
invisible creature on the
lovely.
ceiling, it is not next to you.
Well, you've invented a new stage move, at the very least.
The fucking lasso with the guitar. Oh, look at me! I'm so cool. I say,
Um,
waving my guitar around.
the chamber is lit, as are all the chambers you'll encounter, with gently glowing yellow-white mage stones, just crystals set into the ceiling at intervals.
Expensive.
Oh yeah.
But we can't exactly rob the place. He'll know it was us.
Yes, he will know. Also, we are getting a pretty decent deal out of this, actually. It's
Yeah.
not...
He's a collector. He's a decent...
He's like, okay, best of luck, and he closes the door after you, and you hear sort of a sound from around you. Okay, just double checking.
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Good.
Are you okay out there? Nothing sort of burst out at you when we've shut the door?
Nope, just here with my circle of salt around me.
Yep, stay
And
there.
the crossbow.
Okay.
Any minute now, the Winchester brothers are going to turn up. It's
Yeah. The door sort of clicks shut with an ominous boom as it closes behind you. The far door is another matching heavy steel door, although this one, as well as the combination lock on it, has 4 sculpted iron faces looking kind of akin to cherubs with cheeks and mouths in blowing poses.
Well, that's not even very
equidistant
subtle.
around the dial.
I feel mildly uncomfortable.
When we opened the first door,
Yeah.
was there a sort of like almost like change in pressurization? Was there air in there in the vault? Had it been
There was air. Yeah, there was a small pressurization change. There is air already in the
Yeah.
vault.
Okay. Well, I don't know how that would make any difference, but it's worth knowing.
And, being in here, it feels like within these vaults.
Sorry, this room is our air, and that is it. With a spread out over 5 rooms. No, we're alright.
Okay. Shall we do the next one?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. I'd do the combination.
You
Try
s-
36
we take up
first.
positions again.
Okay, so you go 2, 16, 43, 84, 9, 36. And there is a sort of pause. You try the door handle, and
I'm standing ready.
immediately there is a sound, and all 4 of the mouths immediately fire out wires. I'd like everyone to roll initiative, please.
Shit.
I hate him. I hate him. He's
so
the
much.
worst.
He's a twat.
That's a 6.
Oh,
19.
that's really good, actually. That's a 21.
Okay, so
Thankfully, because I'm right fucking next to it doing the vault door.
21, 6 for Scamp. What was yours, Corzin?
19.
And 19 for Corzin. Okay. So, just as you, Celestia, you're actually able to act the moment before, just as you see small puffs of smoke start to emerge from the mouths and the sort of sound of something going. Is there anything you would like to do on your turn? Because you actually go before the trap does.
How near to me is everyone?
You guys,
I'll be
I'll
standing
actually let
back
you guys
covering
decide
it.
how near you are.
I think I was standing slightly behind Corzin because everything I do
Okay,
is
so
best
we'll
is
say
ranged.
that you are next to the vault, Celestia, the vault door. Corzin, you are, we'll say, like 10 feet back from
Yeah.
the vault, so that you're a blunderbuss range.
Yeah.
And then 15 feet back from the vault behind is Scamp.
What about Leah and Clara?
Leah, I'll say, is off to one side, has her sword drawn just in case, but not her pistol.
Okay, so she's not in the firing
No,
line.
she's not immediately in the firing line, but she is sort of like off to one side from you. Clara has just gone to a corner and is sensibly like keeping an eye, like tracking everything, but folding her arms and waiting. She is like just keeping out of sight of things. She's actually seeing that she's actually near one of the heavy plinths.
So what does it look like is coming out of these mouths?
So
Have
it
I just
looks
seen
like
smoke, or
you
like,
see
what have I seen?
like a puff of smoke, and then just in the instant before you act, you can see emerging seems to be a tangle of iron wires. Or like steel wires.
And it's like coming out in a straight line.
They're coming out, but they're expanding outwards as they are going.
Okay.
You'll see. I'll say like you get just a tiny flicker of like maybe like ball bearings on the ends, they're like bowlers.
Ah.
Okay. Fuck, I'm too close to everybody to do a thing. Because Scamp and Corzin are 10 feet back from me, yeah?
Yeah. Well, Corzin 10 feet, Scamp's 15 feet back. Yeah.
Just trying to think if there's a way I could do a thunder wave without getting either of them. But I don't think there is, unfortunately. Because I figured it could, like, knock it off course sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to do what my instinct was. I'm going to jump over to you two and tackle you to the floor to get you out of the
try
way.
and tackle both of them to the floor. Okay, I will say then.
Like, just to get you on the floor out of its
Give
firing
me
line.
an athletics check or an acrobatics check. I'll let you choose which.
I'm going to go for acrobatics.
Okay,
'cause
to
it's
try
better.
and grab, push them down to the ground in advance.
Oh, shit.
Seeing this, I won't
7.
resist.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't resist, but it's a question of whether you can act in time. You needed a 10 to get fast. I'll say faster to give you both advantage. Give it disadvantage on its attack.
And then, can I talk as a bonus
Yeah,
action?
you can
My
talk as a
ring?
free
Is
action.
The ring still up?
Yeah, the ring is still up.
Destin, how the fuck do we shut this trap off?
Oh, bother! Yeah, we'll get on to what Destin says
Yeah.
next. Okay, so these aren't without. These are just straight attacks against you. Then, so the trap makes 4 attacks against the people within a sort of cone in front of it. Leah, because I said Leah's off to the side, so she's not actually within the cone. So this is 2 against the person in front, Celestia, 1 against Corzin, 1 against Scamp.
Okay, so I don't quite get them down in time.
No. So Celestia, that was 50.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
hits.
2 of the wire, 1 wire just ensnares you, and you see as it whipples forward, it's actually several wires connected to a central point, and they just they grip entirely around you, and there are still wires that connect it to the mouth. The other wires that would have hit you grapple you for a moment, and then the trap seems to have some sense for if something's already caught, and then release and flick and pull back into the mouth.
So I'm wrapped up in wires.
Yeah.
Is what's happening.
So you're wrapped up in wires. You are grappled. The other 2, so Corzin, that is also a 15.
That just hits.
Okay, you are grappled in a
Can
wire.
I stop that hitting?
You can, I'll say, yeah, because you just said it just in time. So you can invoke Bend Luck.
Yeah, so that's -3.
Oh,
Okay, you are just knocked out of the way by Celestia in time, it seems. You sort of lose your footing, and the wires slip past you and then pull back into the mouth.
I don't have further to fall to the ground on account of
Yeah.
its closeness.
The 4th one, yeah, that definitely hits. That's like a 22 to hit. Scamp, you are grappled. So 2 sets of wires are now extended. 2 are back, have retracted back into the cherub mouths. So, Corzin, you are not starting your turn grappled, so you can act freely.
All right. Is anything else coming out of the mouths?
Not on this round.
Right, okay. I am going to attempt to just unwrap Celestia.
Okay, give me an athletics check
Right?
to try and just break.
Did I take any damage?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
Oh, horrible.
Okay, that's a 25.
Okay, you pull off and unwrap the wires. The wires immediately slip back.
This is the shoddiest rigging I have ever seen.
Thank you.
Yeah, on some sort of real.
hitting you.
Yeah, and they retreat back into the cherub mouths.
50 if I could.
So there are now 3 retracted wires. 1 wire which is out. I'm just about to show you a roll for Leah because I forgot to do her. There you go. So she goes in at 15. And 1 which is still extended. Okay, Leah, seeing your current situation, I think she's going to run forward and try and cut the wires in front of Scamp.
Thank you.
So that hits, and she does. Where's all the stats? Here we go. And she actually gets 2 attacks, but we'll see if she does enough damage just on the first one. Okay, she does 10. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Couldn't find a number. 10 damage to that wire as she slices through several of the wires. The remaining ones just sort of untangle and pull back and retreat back into the cherub. All of the wires have now retreated back into the cherub mouth, and Leah goes, "Are you all right?"
I'm fine.
You hear the voice coming from near Celestia. Oh, bother and blast! I guess you just need to try and get out of its way, and maybe it'll go away on its own. I'm not sure.
Very helpful, thank you.
Lara is going to hide behind one of the heavy stone plinths with the vase on, so that she can't
Going
be
to die
attacked.
if she doesn't. So
Yep.
yep.
And Scamp.
How big are these mouths?
They are approximately the size of a human face, I'll say. But the mouths themselves are the size of a human mouth. Like,
It's been a while, so could you re-describe what the halfling gimp suit looks like?
Okay,
Oh.
so the
Is there some
halfling,
way of gagging this man?
the halfling gimp suit does include a sort
Oh,
of
I'm so here for
This is the
this.
sort of content
does
you tune in
include
for, listeners.
it does include a gag as part of the hood. I'll say, like it's an optional gag, but the one that you picked up,
The one on the Corzin one.
yeah, does contain. I will say does contain an optional sort of ball gag.
Corzin does not admit to ownership of that.
It's a present.
From the fairies, yes, very droll.
We don't know that you still have that.
No, I'm
Yeah.
going
Just
to
realised.
pull
We
that
never knew
out
that.
of my bag
Pull out the
and
gimp suit
try
and
and
the ball
block
gag.
up as many of these mouths as I can in turn.
Okay,
With his
give
bits and
me
pieces.
an acrobatics check just for speed.
Okay.
We'll see how many you can block up.
Oh, that's cold. Fuck, because that was nearly an 18. Okay, was it 17? Was a 19.
19. All right, I will say that you fully shove the ball gag into the one that was previously trapping you, and there is a sort of sound as it tries to emerge, but that ball gag has taken that cherub out of action. You get a bit of the sort of one of the arm braces wrapped around a second cherub. Let's say that. Okay. I'll make a note for that. It's not quite enough to fully block it up, but it's certainly reducing its effectiveness. So
I go, why do you still have that?
I'm not going to ask yet.
Someone who's good with numbers, try the code again.
do you guys do you want to move, or are you happy where you are? Because you're currently all broadly still in the line in front of it.
Yeah, well,
Leah is now in the path of the cone as well.
I'm
still on the
trying
floor.
to
You're
get
still on
up
the floor.
against the wall to the side of them, so it's I'm like if the heads are there, just to the side.
Okay, yeah.
they're
So
not
you run to
direct
the
behind.
sides that you are now out of the cone. Cool. All right, Celestia, you are prone, but it's you.
I want to try the code again.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Get
like
up.
the other number.
35,
No,
not
that's
36.
not.
Give me a dexterity check to see if you can get the code in time.
Ooh, that's really good. That's a 21.
Run. There's a sort of as the wires in the trap seem to wind down on 35.
Destin, darling,
Yes,
how sure are we about the rest of these codes?
quite sure.
Oh, good.
Because you were quite sure about this one for a bit.
Oh dear. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks.
I'm going to
Very
retrieve my
reassuring.
items.
I hate him. I say to the
At this point, Clara steps out. The feeling is mutual.
Alright, what do we see?
I
beyond
retrieve
the
my items from the cherub.
Okay, you retrieve your items from Cherub. There's a brief sort of as the one that had the ball gag spits out a handful of wires, which then just hang loose.
Again, why? Why do you still have that?
It was a present from the fairies. It seemed rude to leave it.
The thing is,
Ah,
I believe
yes.
you, but I don't think anyone else ever will.
Leah is just looking at this
the
with
nun's
it.
outfit?
No.
Why?
Insight check.
Leah says,
Oh, I
"Sorry,
don't need one."
Nun's outfit?
I go extremely red.
Also,
Um,
is that a halfling-sized...
yes, it is.
He just looks over to Corzin.
Sunday best.
Corzin is full of surprises, Leah.
Clearly.
Corzin is not full of that.
It was.
Clara
wasn't
quietly mutters,
Did we-
Corzin's clearly full of something.
Did we tell Leah about the whole incident with raising it up the flagpole?
That probably would have been
Yeah,
included in
we
one of your
definitely would have told her that.
Okay,
I think the fairies. I'm not sure we would have gone into complete specifics.
Yeah, you didn't.
The fairies had, you know, the fairies that I told you about.
Yes,
They
the
had
little fat ones.
Yes, they had a bit of a sense of humour.
a
Those were
twisted
presents
sense of humour.
that they had to wear for
Oh.
a red nun's outfit, Leah, made of horsehair.
I'm so sorry. I am not sorry at the mental image. I'm a little sorry at the mental image of you in that.
Oh,
Corzin.
Leah, you're full of surprises too, apparently.
He wouldn't wear it.
No,
But he had no other clothes either.
there are loopholes. So long as I was wearing some of it,
And which loophole did you wear?
Shall we carry on?
I just sort of mimed to her, like,
Clara
wrist
says,
cuff.
yes.
That's
let's
not a good
go.
mime. This is not a good mime.
You're sort of rubbing your wrist up and
Rubbing
down, hand up and down your wrist.
Well, I've learnt more about you than I ever wished to today, Corzin. Let's go on to the next room and try not to be murdered.
Okay, you step into the next room. You're, again, stone floor, you're just sort of scattering salt as you go. So the next chamber beyond contains...
I work on the ship, I know how to tie knots.
No judgment.
I didn't want to know that.
there is... this room appears to be a library. Again, 20 foot by 20 foot. Mage lit from above. There are shelves and shelves, just lovely oak shelves, full of books on various subjects. Taking a peer around...
The worst.
if you were...
Sorry, Jason's trying to get through his description and we're all just tittering like 5-year-olds.
If you were to take the... if you were to spend a bit of time and pick out the rarest, choicest volumes and stuff them, a backpack full of them, you could make off with...
What are we stuffing, sorry?
Books.
Books.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, this is a library full of rare books.
And where are we stuffing these books?
Into a backpack. If you were to stuff a backpack full of the rarest, most valuable volumes in here, Corzin, again with your previous check, I'll say, you reckon you could make off with about 1,000 gold crowns worth of rare literature, provided you could find a buyer. There would be more to take, but again, it's a question of volume.
And morality.
Yeah.
All right.
Just giving you a sense of how fucking rich this fellow is.
I'm going to do a systematic investigation of the room to make sure there isn't anything hiding in here.
I'm going to wave my guitar around like a knobhead.
But also...
Whilst giggling
I'm gonna
at the whole situation and getting quite red.
Also, I'm going to say this, Scamp. You find anything on magic in here that you can quickly, scribble down?
It takes hours.
Ages.
Although, probably the ring a minute.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuzzy Wumblefig, Fuzzy Wumblefig, Fuzzy Wumblefig. That's still dumb. It's
Hello!
Still dumb. Hi! We're in the second one. There's books everywhere. Is this where the journals are?
No, I think I actually have them in the section with the art, with the paintings.
How sure are you?
Pretty certain.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
Out of curiosity, do you have any books on magic or books of spells?
Possibly. It's been some time since I've read it, and I'm not actually a spellcaster myself.
True. Nothing I can do with that then.
Would you, if we found any, would you be bothered if we borrowed them?
Well, as long as you give them back at some point.
Oh, we can do that. I just need a few hours with them to read them.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll look for some books of magic.
Okay,
Are they trapped?
This is short rest time if you want to be looking around for books, because this is an fairly extensive library.
Okay.
Should we save
how
it
are
for
we
when
doing
we're
on
having
air?
rest?
Does the air feel thinner now we've got two open?
Doesn't feel especially thinner. There is that sort of slight pressure change, but not major pressure change that suggests there was already air in here as well.
So air's coming from somewhere.
Or was already here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The air doesn't feel especially thin, and Destin did say there's between a day to 2 days worth of air by design.
It still also does imply that whatever is down here does not need to breathe air.
Yeah, maybe.
And can get through these doors.
Yeah.
Do I hit anything with my waving my guitar around like a knobhead?
Make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Incorporeal?
Two 12s. That's a dirty 20.
But why does it not come
Again,
further?
swing around the ceiling near you. Nothing.
Also, it can't be completely incorporeal because it's been scratching.
And it would have come through. There is a reason it hasn't come through the outer door.
It wouldn't be able to get through the vault.
We've seen scratch marks.
Make an investigation check.
I shall.
18.
6.
You give a good
16.
look around. You don't... Okay, it's 18, 16. Looking around this chamber, you don't see any signs of scratch marks. Not in this chamber.
What about the previous ones?
I don't recall seeing any in that one.
Where was he hearing scratching from then?
What's he not... Is he not telling us something?
Fuzzy Wumblefig, Fuzzy Wumblefig, Fuzzy Wumblefig. Destin, darling,
Yes.
are you not telling us something? Because we don't see any scratch marks.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, there are like 3 more chambers.
But you heard scratching from the first.
Yes, it was quite faint.
Okay.
Because if there's something you're not telling us, we really do need to know, because we could actually die down here.
Oh dear.
I hate him.
He's
I hate him.
so useless.
I hate him.
Oh god, it's infuriating how useless he is.
Is there...
Fuck me.
Okay. Is it possible to get some sort of insight without just through his voice and whether
You can make an insight check with disadvantage because you haven't got any
Yeah.
physical features to examine.
That's a whole 6.
Can I do that as well?
You can try. Yeah.
Like, do you mind?
Disadvantage.
If you'd rather I do
No,
that,
it's
that's
fine.
okay. One was a natural 20, that's always so sad. The other one's a 3 though, so no.
It's kind of hard to tell. He sounds a bit distressed. There is another door through here as well. Again, it's a matching heavy steel vault door, this time with combination lock. There are no faces or anything on it, it's just a plain steel door.
Oh, I definitely can't do detect thoughts through lead either.
No.
Definitely not. I just had a thought and I was like, nah, I can't do it.
If we're worried about magical traps, I could take 10 minutes to detect it.
He did say the magic ones wouldn't go off if we had the ring.
That's true.
We should be okay.
Unless we put the wrong code in, clearly. Because that felt magical.
I mean, fuck me, he's stupid. Is anyone else just, like, dying over here? Like, this is so annoying. Leah, how are you doing? Are you holding it together? Because
I'm a little... That ring's not active, right?
Dunno.
Hello? No.
He is a fucking moron!
What is wrong with him? Oh.
Clara has begun taking books down and just thumbing through them at this point. Like, just taking a note of the spine.
Present company accepted. He strikes me as a sort of person who has a rich person's understanding of things they don't have to actually themselves physically do.
Just don't make eye contact with anyone. Look a little bit awkward.
I said present company accepted.
I know.
Are you sure about that? You're getting better.
Thanks.
There.
You know, weirdly, that wasn't even slightly comforting. I feel kind of weird.
Should...
I'm not going to moan about being rich. Right, let's go.
Is it worth me checking for magics?
Can hurt.
Maybe. You know what, if that spell stays
in
up
case
for a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That could be really helpful.
I'll do
if the
it.
creature's magic, you might see that.
I will take some time to draw in the salt on the floor.
Okay. You go salt on the floor and begin checking for magic.
I'm gonna, it takes 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic, but then it lasts 10 minutes.
Okay. When you complete your check, there's a few things that come up. As always, the 3 of you, to some degree.
How magical's Clara looking?
Clara herself has a low sort of transmutation fuzz. I think, like a sort of
A fuzzy one.
sort of fuzzy animal thing. Has a sort of very low fuzz to her that might be the result of whatever permanent enchantment she's under from her pacts. Her bag glow, like the various potions in her bag, however, just like.
Oh, no, that's so hag. Like a bag full of tricks. I hate that. I knew it was a thing, but I hadn't really thought about it until now.
Yeah, so her bag is full of magical potions.
Yeah. I would have told them about, like, I'd seen her brewing them.
Oh, yeah, no, you
Yeah.
definitely would have said that.
Yeah.
There is. I'm going to ask you for a straight luck check, please.
Ooh.
17.
Okay. Roll me a d6. Divide by 2. Round up.
Divide by 2. There's 4. There's 2.
2.
So 4 by 2.
1 moment.
This is terrifying, by the way.
You
Is
see
anyone else horrified?
2
I was going to say roll a D100
pings
and I hated it.
show 2 pings show up. Sort of like little glimmers show up, tucked between spines of books. Fine, what appear to be pieces of paper that are folded up and tucked in.
Any sign of traps?
This door does not appear to have any magical traps on it.
What about the bookshelves?
The bookshelves themselves actually do not appear to be trapped.
Okay. I kind of want to ask him. Did I ask him if the bookshelves, if there were traps?
You didn't.
No, I didn't. I thought I should. Can I borrow your ring?
Yes,
again?
what do you want to say?
Fuzzy Rumble,
I'm just
say
going to hold
Wazzy
my hand
Bum
out to
thing
you rather
and-
than bother taking it off.
Destin?
Hello!
Hi again. Us again.
Hello.
I mean, who else?
Let's not consider that as a
No,
possibility.
let's not talk about that.
It's Jason from the future.
Oh God! Ultimate breaking of the fourth wall. You bashed the
It's
fourth wall
future
down,
Jason.
pissed on it, bombed it.
Your bookshelves. Any traps?
Nope.
Got a couple of interesting pieces of paper. Mind if I borrow them? Just have a little look.
Ooh. Certainly.
Cheers.
How do you know they're interesting?
I'm a great scholar.
Oh, okay.
I'll stand back a bit and I'll take the couple of pieces of paper. I'll take the magic paper and have a little look.
Okay, so the first piece of paper, skimming it through, give me, it seems to show up with I think this is an evocation aura to it. Give me an arcana check.
Oh no. Oh no. I think that's an 11. Yes, 11.
Roll 2d4 for me, please.
Oh,
This is so scary.
this is horrifying.
Like,
6.
Okay, thank you. Wow. Okay. So
Horrifying.
looking it through, you think
hate this.
this is a spell scroll. And you're kind of getting that weird instinct you do, combined with some of the study you've done with wisdom. Thank you. That this is a spell scroll. It has a similar effect to a spell that wisdom talked about that you studied, Gust of Wind, but a stronger version. This is a scroll of sustained wind.
Nice.
oh, what is it?
This is. It makes wind.
What, like a lot of wind?
Like a constant wind. For ages. Okay.
Oh, I've heard some
That could get us
some
out.
ships mages
Yeah.
have that. That's really useful.
No, but just for getting away from here, we need a good wind, don't we? to be
Does
able
this
to tell us.
feel like something I could do?
Yes, you could use you get the sense that you can burn up this spell to cast it once by using the
Do
scroll.
I feel like it's something I could do as a ritual? That's something I could put in my colouring book?
This is not a
Not a
ritual thing.
ritual.
The sustained wind is essentially so powerful it needs to use up a 4th level slot.
So it's a 4th. I will write 4th.
It's a 4th level.
I mean, I can use it once, but then it's gone.
But that would get us out. That would do.
It would last. Yeah, you get the sense
Yeah.
this would last for hours. 4 hours.
Well, that's certainly something to consider.
Let's keep hold of that. Fucking hell, that's great. I mean, if we get out of here,
Yeah.
you know.
What's the other one?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I want you to roll me.
I don't want to.
So roll me a. I've got a couple of requests.
So on edge right now.
Roll me
Terrified.
a d6. Tell me if you got. Just tell me what the
4.
result is. Okay. Now roll me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll me a d8.
Was that 8 dice? 4. A lot of
1,
4s.
2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is a weird one. Again, it's a spell scroll. This one, as you sense, is far more powerful.
Oh.
2 levels more powerful, in fact.
Jesus.
And
Hello.
it emanates a sort of aura of necromancy.
Ooh.
Give me an Arcana check.
12.
You know that this affects. This is. You're not exactly sure how this works. You know, it seems to affect your eyes in some way. When the eyes of the caster.
Okay, and again, obviously not ritual.
No.
Yeah.
It is something that you could cast yourself.
Any indication how long it would last?
Yeah, up to a minute concentration. You get that sense.
Okay.
It will do something to your eyes, and it is necromancy based.
That is terrifying.
I have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
Is there another spell?
Yes, but it's higher than I can do.
Oh, right.
Like, it's strong.
What does it do?
In fact, looking at it, this spell scroll unlike the other scroll, which you realise is like it's a folded piece of paper that bears sort of admiralty markings. You realise it's actually like a standardised scroll text for for sustained wind to be used by ship's majors in an emergency when they're otherwise out of juice. This is written on vellum.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
What is vellum?
Cow skin parchment.
Oh, okay.
Still
It is-
using our government
Yeah.
because we're fucking idiots.
Yeah. It looks ancient, it's crumbling at the sides, and there is a curious mark on it at one point. I would ask anyone who looks at this to give me a history check. Please.
Yeah, go on.
History.
And I guess Leah this as well.
Ooh.
4.
10.
16.
Yeah, can I ask Leah to have a look at it?
Yeah, Leah has a look at it, and Clara
Would
has
I know
a look
it?
as well. With a 16,
But
you
would
do
I
recognise
know it?
You only recognise this because you have seen it once before.
Okay.
In a way that was so subtle, none of the rest of you really noticed it. It was half melted, once a sort of bas relief, on the walls of the keep in Werrick's Watch, now melted into black stone.
Interesting.
A familiar crest. That seemed familiar to you in a way that you kind of noticed at the time and put it out of your mind because you had other things on matter. And Leah looks at it and goes, "Wait, that's the crest of..." And Clara cuts in, "Alderai Blackheart."
Oh, what, the sorcerer?
She nods.
Figures.
So does that mean he wrote it?
Conceivably.
It's old. It's very old.
Fucking hell, I mean, he was a big deal,
And
wasn't
strong.
he? Mm.
I mean, I'm not particularly strong, but it's stronger than I can do. By a good few
Right.
steps.
Well, I believe that's yours.
If it's vellum,
Well,
it
it's
was
it's
intended
not
to
anything
last.
wrong. No. The wind we can use to get out of here. This is just stealing.
He can't use it. He probably doesn't even know what it is. It was a bit of paper that was shoved in between two books. He's not going to get any use out of it. Also, he's a dick. Fuck him. Sorry.
I'll hold on to it
I'm
for
fine.
now. We'll figure this out.
I feel safer with it being in your hands than his.
Yeah.
I do feel it could be dangerous.
But exactly,
To
you're
you,
not going to do
or-
anything
No,
mental with
not
it.
to me, but I'm not sure I could use it.
Maybe not now, but
Take it with you.
Okay.
Okay. And the 6th level necromantic scroll to your inventory. Brackets, eyes.
It's terrifying.
In fact, you need to tell me that so I remember what that spell does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As I said, the next door does not appear to have any magical traps in it. And you do have a code for that.
Okay, I'm going to start.
I'm going to stand well
okay, I
back.
shall assume the position.
Yeah, we'll do the same position every time, I
Yeah.
guess.
Slightly further apart, so we're not in
Yeah.
a cone so much.
Okay. You get forward, you insert the 6-digit code. You pull back the door. No traps this time.
Oh, this one I got right. Good.
You see this. The doors themselves are about like 10 foot in diameter, circular doors. And this one opens up into a short, sort of almost like a little airlock type chamber. It's like 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot, and behind it is another steel circular door, which you also have the codes for.
This is smaller then.
It's
Yeah,
just
well,
literally just like a little...
literally like a little 10 foot by
I'm
10
going to
foot by
just
10
put my
foot.
guitar ahead of me and just wave it.
Can you roll like a ball of shot or something along the corridor
Yeah.
ahead of us?
Okay.
I take out
As
one
you
ball
do
of
so, you feel something catch your guitar, and I need you to give me an athletics check. As something poised to pull you forwards,
shit,
or you
okay.
could let go of your guitar.
I'm not letting go of my fucking guitar. Fuck off. Okay, that is athletics, was that?
Yep.
19.
Okay, you reach back and you wrench out your suddenly very clean-looking guitar as
Am I seeing any
rippling.
magic?
No, it's not magic. This isn't magical. As rippling, the invisible, when stationary, gelatinous cube begins to
Yes,
wobble
gelatinous cube, I hate
forward.
you, I hate
Everyone, roll me initiative.
Hey, you!
Shit.
Ooh, 17.
8.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so 8.
Oh, no, sorry.
20.
No, I thought that said 18. It's 13. I do apologise. It's a 15.
Okay, so that's 15.
My dice were not in the light and hard to read.
15
I'm
for
rolling the one that
Celestia.
you can't fucking see.
Leah gets Leah's an 11. Sure, okay. I guess
How long was this corridor?
it's 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot
Perfect
cube.
gelatinous
Perfect
cube.
gelatinous cube size. And then
Oh.
there is the 20 foot by 20 foot chamber that you are in.
Oh, right,
currently,
okay.
So
Behind
a fireball
you.
in the centre, it would still hit us.
Clara,
Unless we.
It
Imagine
hit the
it
cube
exploding.
first.
But it would go
That
through
was-
it.
Would it?
Possibly.
dodgy enough that I
I
need
don't
to
actually
roll.
know what you
I
do
don't
with
know.
these.
I don't know.
I have a feeling.
Oh yeah, this
might.
thing has a -4 to its
Well,
initiative.
Because
Explode.
it's not an explosion until it hits the point where you want it, or
Yeah.
something. I guess maybe.
Okay,
maybe solid
so Clara goes first, and because she got a 21, and immediately just finds a space between some bookshelves and just takes cover.
Right. Okay.
She is just doing her usual thing of hiding. On initiative count 20, there is a from behind you as the far door, the door that was closed, it just pulls shut and locks, sealing you in this chamber.
In the chamber with the gelatinous cube.
No.
I'm confused.
So there is Vault 2, which is a 20 foot by 20
it's
foot
sealing
chamber.
as in the previous one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you are
In the library.
You are in the
In the
library.
library.
You're in
Yeah.
the library, and then there is a perfectly gelatinous cube-sized airlock ahead of it,
Right.
which is currently occupied by a gelatinous cube.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you didn't just walk in, because it would
Yeah.
automatically have succeeded at engulfing
yeah.
you.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to roll something in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the vault door to Vault 1 has now closed. Scamp, you go first. So you are positioned. Just a reminder, Leah is off to one side along a wall. Celestia, you are
That's
currently
not
sort of
good.
by and behind the doors. Corzin, you are pointing your blunderbuss at it. Actually, no, Celestia, you moved in front, so you are directly in front of the gelatinous cube. And Scamp, you are sort of a bit off to one side, so that you're, but back so that you're not in a perfect cone. And then
Okay.
Clara is hiding. Scamp.
Oh, how good is this thing gonna be? I don't know what to do against a giant cube of jelly.
I don't really either. I'm struggling. I've got a really stupid move that I might pull. But...
I'm so worried it's just going to save against this and waste a turn, but I'm alright. I'm going to try a frostbite because I feel like freezing this thing might be useful.
Useful. Yeah. At least it slows it down.
It doesn't. If it fails its save, it gets disadvantage on attack rolls, though.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it it says weapon attack. I don't know if that counts as whatever it does.
Yeah.
It's a con save anyway.
Okay, con save. All right, that is 19.
Yeah.
Takes no damage because it's a cantrip,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
You sort of gesture forwards, and there is a flicker of like little bits of ice that appear on the side of it, and they just sort of crack off, and a little snowflake of frozen gelatinous cube matter just crumbles to the floor,
Oh dear.
not really affecting any
Yeah.
large amount of this thing.
I'm going to quicken a spell then because
Yep.
I feel like I should do something here. And I guess the only thing that's going to be particularly useful is
A chromatic orb. So I get my little ring out.
I'm going to try cold again.
Okay. Roll your attack roll.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay, you smash an orb of frost right into its side. Roll damage.
That is a shame I didn't do it at a high level. Ooh, I've rolled well though. So that is 15 on the dice. So that's
30
Cold damage.
30 cold damage.
Nice.
You see as a huge sort of like a hemisphere of ice expands into it. You see tendrils of frost freezing their way through, and then the whole just like chunk of it just slumps onto the ground. You've taken about I'll say a quarter or to a third of the cube out.
Did it look like frost was particularly effective, or is it just
no
some-
more effective than
okay.
you would expect? And now there is just like there's just this sort of ice cube, like half of an ice ball just on the ground in
Well,
front
that's
of
gross.
it, frozen gelatinous cube matter. The rest of it begins to wobble in rage.
This is an orb. It would be a circle that came out. Does it?
It was half of it. It was a hemisphere.
So does it reform to be a cube again, or is it now got a
There's
hemisphere
now a
missing?
hemispherical missing at this,
Okay.
at
That's
this
kind of
point.
amazing.
Gross.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
Yeah,
So it
it's
doesn't just become a smaller cube.
No, there's just now a huge gap in it.
Ooh.
Like a carved bit.
Yeah.
Gross.
So
And I'm going to
gross.
back the fuck up.
Okay, you back off as far as you can get, which takes you to the far side of the room. Okay. Celestia, you're up next.
Celestia knows nothing about gelatinous cubes, does she?
Roll a nature check, because they do exist in the Underdark.
Yeah, I might
Not
actually.
common.
That feels like an Underdark
Yeah.
creature, doesn't it? Let's give it a go. 13.
You know that their ooze is intensely acidic,
Mm-hmm.
and that the main danger, and that although cubes are not fast, they are slower than Corzin, significantly slower than Corzin. They have the problem of just sort of crowding people into a space. If they can get up to you, they will just pull you inside.
Okay.
And they can and you know that they can extend bits of themselves to try and slap people.
I say, we've got these in the Underdark. They're acid. Don't touch it, basically. And I'm going to take out a bottle of Alchemist Fire that I've had since nearly the beginning of the campaign.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
And I'm going to throw that into the middle of it.
Roll an attack roll.
Because I feel like it'll melt the bottle. So, could work nicely.
Oh shit! I just thought fire. We have only so much air, but use it.
Fuck it,
no,
it's happened.
use it
I've
right
done
now.
it. What is an attack roll for that? I'm so sorry.
Just
throwing
just,
something.
so this is a dexterity plus proficiency because you're proficient in throwing.
I'm proficient in
So
throwing
it'll be
things
the
with my
same
own
as-
hands.
Yeah.
Your basic gun, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, same as your basic
it'd be plus 5. Cool. Natural 20.
Hey, so I guess we'll
Love myself.
double the damage of the first of the first bit of fire
That
because
would be great.
from memory, I just actually I
I
put it written
don't
on my
have the
short
damage
thing.
written down. I'm so
No, I
sorry.
have it on my short list here. If I can find it. Oh, there we go. 1d. So it's 1d4 fire damage, but it repeats until it puts itself out every turn. So
Cool.
roll 1d4 and double it for this round.
Not much, but
Just
fuck it.
on fire.
8.
Okay.
Max damage.
Okay, you do 8 points of damage. So the bottle seeps into the middle of it. It goes right into the depression. Is pulled inside, and then the glass is unaffected, but the cork is immediately dissolved away. And you see as this orangey fluid comes out, and parts of it begin to float. It seems unaffected at first, but then parts of it float near the surface, like you know when you drop ink into water.
Yeah.
It starts to diffuse out. When it hits the surface, it connects to the air. Just like little licks of flame begin burning up and down it, crisping away bits of the ooze and turning them into a sort of awkward, in a sort of dull greyish tar.
Oh, that's
And
really disgusting.
Yeah, the room fills with the smell of just like burning, tarry gelatin.
I turn around. I'm going to back away a bit for a start. Can I back away without provoking an attack? Are we at that point?
Ooh, you
don't
are
know.
next
I
to it,
was
so you
very
will
close.
provoke an attack.
You know what? I'm all right.
Okay, you stay next to it. All right.
I'm going to go, I'm on fire, bitches! Beat my chest, and Rainbow Spirit comes out my hair.
Excellent.
And you'll get 5 temporary hit points.
And you can
if
move.
you'd like to.
Okay, I think I will.
I will move.
Everyone except me can move.
I want to be not in the same area as anyone else.
Leah's gonna risk this. She's gonna take the opportunity to move closer to you, so that she's near the cube and can
Who
get.
do you mean by you?
Sorry,
looking
by
at me,
you,
but the listeners
Celestia.
don't know.
By you, Celestia, and she's going to, and she's readying her sword because she has just some doubts about the effectiveness of just gunpowder weaponry on this potentially. But that's not necessarily guaranteeing any information for you as players. Just she has doubts about this.
Right.
So it's her turn next. Anyway, she's going to take some attacks. So she gets 2 attacks. Don't think she's in a position. You guys haven't actually long rested, so she only has one. Whatchamacallit, fighting spirit left.
Oh no.
No, you've short rested since then. So she's not going to use that. She's going to take 2 attacks with her sword. Yeah, this thing does not have a high armor class. She slashes at it, just carving out pieces of gelatin.
Jelly.
That's 12 and 11, like 23 points of damage to this thing. She just cut. You know how I said it that had that massive concave bit in it. So she's just slicing around the bits that are now thinner and just chopping off pieces. Just chops off 2 large pieces with her sword.
I imagine it kind of like flopping off
They
the
flop
sides.
to the ground, they wobble a bit, and then they sort of go still. It seems that if the thing isn't one coherent piece, it doesn't really operate.
Fair.
This is disgusting.
She's going to provoke an attack of opportunity and back away, however. So the creature as she pulls back, it lashes out with a pseudopod, just like a piece of the gelatin suddenly splurges forward, but doesn't quite manage to catch her. She's too fast.
Excellent.
She slips away, so she slips away to, I'll say, the same sort of similar corner of the room to where Scamp is. So she's now a goodly way away.
Oh yeah, lead it over here, thanks.
Sorry. Corzin,
Now it's fine.
you are 10 feet away with the blunderbuss.
Okay, well,
So
Corzin
she's
was
in
actually
front.
going to use the advantage that Celestia granted him to move up closer,
Okay, yeah.
so that nobody else is in the way of this, frankly.
Yeah.
He is going to basically try and blunderbuss this thing at point blank.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Give me an attack roll. Actually, you don't need to. It's just
No,
dexterity
it's a
save,
dex,
isn't it?
So that's a...
How dexterous is your cube that is in a room the size of it?
Yes,
Not especially.
One would
So-
imagine not. No.
DC
That was a 9.
12? Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
no,
okay.
that was a 9. It
Right.
makes dex saves at -4.
Okay, so first
I can just tell you that. This thing is... It's just wobbling in
so
place.
3. So 1, so 4. And a 4, so 8.
Okay, another 8 points of damage as you
Percussive damage.
blast into it. So that's 3, 4, 8. Cool, remembering how maths work. There we go. And you see as you just spray it with scatter shot, disrupting... It seems to disrupt it in some way. Like it sort of turns the bit where you aim it into a mush that begins to slowly dribble out of the new concave hole that you've created in it. It's wobbling and its wibbling is beginning to grow weaker and less effective. At this point, it takes another D4 damage if you like to roll that from being on fire.
3.
It's 3 more damage. So the continued bits of the alchemist fire burst to the surface and burst into flames, and then it's sort of and you hear a voice coming from just sort of somewhere in the room, like, "Oh no! Watch out!" As the cube lurches forwards into broadly the space of both Corzin and Celestia.
Who is that speaking?
That was Destin's voice.
How does he know?
So
How does he know?
roll. Well, that's a good question. Both of you, however, need to roll a dex save.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a 24 from me.
That is a 15.
Okay, both of you can choose to either be pushed 5 feet back or to the side of the cube, or you can choose not to be pushed, in which case it will engulf you. It's just sort of shunting itself forward and out.
5 feet back.
I'm going to say to the side.
So, Celestia, you pull off to the
Spread out.
side.
Yeah.
Causing you are shunted forward by as the heavily damaged cube pushes into the center of the room. That's all it can do on its turn. Didn't manage to engulf either of you, which means it is now Clara's turn. Clara's continuing to hide. She's largely here as an observer. Scamp. You are now 10 feet away from the cube. I mean, everyone is 10 feet away from the cube. It's a 20-foot room, and the cube is large.
Has it made any attacks that aren't opportunity attacks?
It hasn't actually. No, the only. Well, I mean, it tried to engulf Celestia and Corzin,
Which is...
but that's about it.
Yeah.
And you can tell it has not much movement.
I will... Oh, what am I going to do? Right.
Press you for an action.
Yep, sorry. I'm going to firebolt it.
Okay, roll an attack roll.
It's not making attacks.
Just add to the alchemist
The only
fire.
things
Yeah.
I can do are give it disadvantage on the... Oh, that will hit. That's a 25.
25. Okay, that hits. Roll damage.
15.
Okay, you begin.
Pretty good,
Yeah,
actually.
you
Good, that's
sizzle and
got a
burn
10
more
on
of this
one of
thing
those.
away. It's just now like almost just about half of its whole mass has been burned and cindered or mushed, and it's barely holding itself together. It's,
I want to sort of move around the room slightly so it can't engulf more than one person if it
move
goes.
around so that it's only really got one choice. You're now, and now it's just sort of wobbling aggressively. Celestia, you are next to it.
Destin, how the fuck do you know what's going on?
Oh dear! What a terrible situation you're in. How will you escape?
Right.
You're a cunt. I'm gonna
And
hit...
you're part of my collection now!
That's weird.
What the fuck? We'll talk about this later. Oh, God. Who's near me?
Me.
You're near me. Everyone's near me. We're all in a really small room.
Which we are looting as soon as this is done.
Yeah.
Oh, we are stealing fucking every single thing here is getting stolen. The bastard, I'm gonna kill him. Right, I'm so angry. I don't know what. I'm actually so angry that I can't think of an action. I don't know what
You're
to do.
choking on your own rage here.
So let's just gonna go, and just hit it with a guitar.
Okay, roll the attack roll.
Nice.
Oh, fuck. That would be a 16. Might be enough.
That
actually, 'cause
hits.
it's a
Roll
cube.
damage.
Okay, we need 2d8s because it's a shocking grasp one.
Yeah.
Might not work on a gelatinous cube, but hey, let's find out. That is 11.
Okay, how would you like to finish this creature?
I would like to just... I feel like I hit it once.
Yeah.
There's a bit of electricity, it goes and just crumbles into, like, splodge, and then I just keep fucking hitting it for, like, too long.
You strike it, there's like a blast of electricity that goes through it, and it just sort of it splinters the remaining half into like 16 different pieces that just sort of flop all down into a pile, and then you just keep smashing it.
Celestia, you got it. You got it.
Okay.
It's dead.
Destin, you cunt.
Yes?
What the fuck, man?
Oh dear. I suppose if you want to escape, you'll need to go through my gauntlet. The only way is forwards.
Or you could open the door, or I burn every book in this room.
And literally everything else, darling.
He's been alone here too long.
Why?
There's no response.
Okay, well...
Fucking why, asshole?
It's just funny, isn't it?
Hilarious.
Okay, well, I guess...
The only way you're getting out is by going onwards.
I will find you and I will lock you in this fucking vault before the day I die, you little shit.
Should we have a little short rest and steal everything?
Yep, every single thing. What can we steal?
We're in a room full of good books.
There you go. As you get ready to start looting, however, I think this will be a good moment for us to take our break.
Okay.
So we will pick up with the rest of this
fucking angry,
with the
man.
rest of this mad collector's gauntlet after these, no doubt important, messages. And now a word from our friends over at the D&D Grandma and the family that games together.
I think whatever aggravates me in real life, I can take it out in the game.
There is no word that I can sufficiently find in the English language to describe the feeling of putting your world and your story out there and watching your family bring it to life.
And I attribute it to, of course, my children, of course, to this game, and of course to all the love that's on this table.
That's a
we have
wonderful
for each other.
answer.
Yes,
And if you could see it, everybody is holding hands and hugging. I believe there's Kumbaya being sung faintly in the background.
The D&D Grandma and the Family That Games Together, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast starring the D&D Grandma, her children, and her children-in-law. New episodes every Sunday on all your favorite podcatchers. Thank you, and keep on rolling.
Oh, I say, you seem to have fallen into my little trap. The only way you're getting out of here is by defeating me in a dance-off. No, wait, that's something else. In that case, I suppose you'll have to like, rate, share, and subscribe to Flintlocks and Fireballs. Leave a review on iTunes, and, dare I say, buy us a coffee. And welcome back. So, you have just finished your communications of rage with Destin Sukolin.
Celestia is like vibrating.
There's a pile of burnt, frozen, shattered gelatinous cube in the center of the room. A lot of rare books around you.
Okay, no one leave this room for a sec.
Well, I was just going to go out for a walk.
I mean,
that's
there's another
fine.
room. Don't go through that. That door behind us, that's shut. None of us touch it. Anytime any of us go through a door, we all go through that door.
No,
We
you
do
have-
not split this group.
Yeah, you have a point there.
Right, yeah. Sensible.
We should probably actually hang on
Agreed.
to each other whenever we go through a door. I know that's stupid, but it's very easy to cut two people off who are slightly behind.
Yeah. And I'm not good with science and things, but fire uses air, right?
Yeah.
We might want to be slightly careful about...
Let's not do fire.
It's one of the dangers, one of the many dangers of things like coal damp. In mines, just not keeping too many
How are
fires.
damp
That's
things
also why we
bad
don't
for
like
fire?
things with fire in the Underdark. Because it's a cave. A really big cave, but it's still a fucking cave when it comes down to it.
Okay, so... Do we push on? Do we have a rummage in these books?
Dunno.
I kind of want to get some books for wisdom if we're going to be robbing the place.
I mean, yeah, let's...
See if you
we
can
could
find
take a
anything
break.
useful. I'll cover this place.
Not
up.
entertain him for a bit. Let
Leah,
him
you're
wait.
really smart. Could you help me look for books that wisdom might like?
Of course.
Magic ones would be good. Like, not magical, but containing information.
Let's see what we can do.
I'll cover the door, and also I'm going to look and see if there was anything in the gelatinous cube that hadn't been entirely consumed.
Okay.
There's a glass bottle.
There is a glass bottle. Yeah.
But it's empty now.
There is also an incredibly clean gold pocket watch.
Okay.
Oh.
I take that out, and I take the glass bottle out,
Oh.
and I say, don't suppose you want this back?
Oh, that's not mine, darling.
Oh.
I don't have a watch.
No, the bottle.
If you like, I don't really give a shit. It's a fucking bottle. I might as well leave it here.
Clara puts up a hand. I can always use more bottles.
Oh yeah, you make stuff, don't you? You
Fair
have
enough.
it. Go for it.
Thank you. Takes the bottle.
Okay, I'm going to
And
look
actually
at
starts scooping some gelatinous cube pieces up into it and a few other bottles she has. Waste not, want not.
You'll need something stronger than cork to cork that.
I have metal caps for that.
Cool.
Why are rich people such cunts?
You tell me.
often riches
Thanks.
by the privilege to be. Not saying that all rich people exercise that privilege, but... And I'm going to have a look at the watch. Does it have any, like, maker's marks on it?
Yeah. It doesn't have a maker's mark. I mean, yeah, okay, it has a maker's mark. Roll me a history check to see if you know this maker's mark.
Okay, well, set the table.
Very off the table.
Halfway across the room.
No, that's the 3, I don't think so.
It's in Dwarven.
Ah.
Oh,
Anybody speak Dwarven?
a little bit. Give me a hit.
Right.
Yes.
Also roll a history check because this is like its initials basically.
An old maker's mark.
Yeah.
Cool. 8. No.
It seems to be some Dwarven clockmaker.
Leah. You're good at history.
They at least it. I don't think. Oh no! I think this is. It looks like it was. It looks like a. I want to say a Thrinese dwarven clockmaker that you can see from the patterning. It seems it's. I couldn't really tell you more than that.
You do know everything. Right.
I've seen a lot of clocks.
I mean, having a clock could be useful.
There is also an engraving on the back, which is with 2D with dearest fondness G.
D and G. Does that ring any bells?
Is it running?
Is the clock working?
No, it is. It's a winding clock, and it is wound down a long. It is wound down while being, actually, if you open the back, you actually have to shake out some gelatinous cube.
Well,
Yeah,
But
D is destined, isn't it?
could be.
Probably.
Oh.
So to destined from.
Crown.
Oh fucking hell!
Oh.
Is this a fucking lover's gift?
I wouldn't like to speculate, but I mean,
Oh, I
give it
really
a wind.
want-
Does it still work?
Give it a wind.
once you shake the gelatinous cube gunk out, yes, it begins to.
Someone's got to take this off me because I want to break things that are important to him.
Right.
I doubt
Vague
that
idea
before.
of how much this is worth?
50 gold pieces.
Right.
Ooh.
Okay. I will keep it.
It's a finely made watch, and it's got a gold case, gold leafed casing.
Is there anything that looks personally important to him in this room?
I mean, beyond the wide collection of books.
I'd knock some books off a shelf just to
Feel
a bit
some books to
better.
the ground. Okay. With Leah assisting you, roll an Arcana check for relevant books for wisdom.
Okay. Is it assistance or advantage or just a straight roll?
Advantage.
Lovely. Okay, that is a 19.
Yeah. You find a number of reference books over the course of the hour. You find a number of reference books on magical theory. There are some just straight at university primers in here, which have been collected because they were first editions. There is a book which is like what's the term for when you get like a collection of books at the end of a year?
And
Like an omnibus or an anthology?
Anthology sounds good.
Anthology
sounds,
of publishings from the Royal Society of Syria's monthly journal of scientific papers. Some of which study natural philosophy, the classical sciences, other of which include study on magical sciences.
Okay.
You're able to collect, a hearty collection of very useful books relating to the theory of magic.
Lovely.
I'll say it takes up a third of a backpack in total, and of course, as mentioned, you can fill a backpack full of the rarest books and the most valuable ones. You would guess for approximately 1,000 gold pieces worth of value.
I mean, nothing else we can sell to other students.
Yeah, you have 4 backpacks between you because Clara only has a satchel.
But if we find something more valuable, we can always dump them.
Exactly.
So we could fill a backpack with books.
Yeah, I mean, you can fill more than backpacks, but that's getting the most expensive, most rarest ones first.
It's probably worth filling a bag with these, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. We can, like you say, we can always dump them.
Yeah. It decreases in value the more backpacks you fill because you're getting the choicest stuff first. Okay, one of you add 1,000 gold pieces of rare books.
Mine's got the books for wisdom in, so I probably shouldn't put it in mine because it's already taken up a third of it with other stuff.
Right. So
I think I'm too busy being angry to really think about picking up books. I think I'm kind of useless for this bit.
Also, I've got a gimp suit in mine. It doesn't take up much space, but...
Especially not a halfling gimp suit.
never, ever mention that to little Corzin.
I wouldn't.
Or Molly, for that matter.
I'm just going to wear it in front of them.
I really rather you didn't.
Molly might
I'm
like
not
it.
sure that would fit you.
Yeah.
Molly might enjoy it, darling. You never know.
No judgment.
I don't think she's that sort of woman, but...
No judgment if she was, darling. Anyway.
Corzin sort of shifts awkwardly.
Can I borrow a bit of shot to roll down that corridor ahead?
Yeah, here. I mean, I could probably retrieve the one that I
the ones that you
used previously.
Carefully pick them out. The gelatinous cube remains still acidic, but with thick gloves and taking care and some tongs, you are able to retrieve them and wipe them off on some cloths which begin to disintegrate.
Whoa.
Could you use prestidigitation to sort of part the jelly, as it were?
Oh yeah, very easily.
I click my fingers.
Yeah.
Is there anything to do other than just go on? Because I don't want to play his game, but I think we have to.
I could try and burn through the door, but it would use the air.
Not worth it.
And there's another door.
Those are pretty thick metal doors. It'd take a while.
Wonder if he can hear us.
Definitely.
You're a cunt.
Oh look, an exit hatch. No, it didn't work.
Oh, I've had more than enough mind games for one lifetime.
Roll the thing down the corridor.
Okay. It rolls, bumps against the steel door at the end.
Proceed with caution, then.
Yep. I'm gonna wave my guitar around in front of me.
I hate clumping up, but we need to get through this door as one.
We do.
All right.
Clara, who's packed a few, just a couple of choice books into her satchel, so
Right.
looks after you.
I'm gonna hold my guitar out in front of me. Everyone hold on. Someone
Right.
hold on to me. Everybody hold on to each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
You can
Corzin
share the
does.
space of another character because you're tiny.
Yes, Corzin does.
You
so.
and Clara both sort of stand between people's legs.
Not mine.
And you all... Yeah, it's like you under Celestia's, Clara under Leah's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Scamp at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you all sort of cram into the 10 foot by 10 foot
I
airlock.
turn the thing. With the
Okay,
combination.
according to the combination, nothing happens.
Fucking hate him.
Sorry! Sort of started lying at that. I mean, I started lying a lot earlier than that.
Oh, we'll stay here and die then, that's fun.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit on the floor and just live here then, I guess. I suppose we live in this 10-foot space, Destin.
Oh well. I suppose I'll just have to make myself some tea and wait.
What do you want? Get it over with, come on.
I want you to go to the next room.
Yep.
Yep, we're in that room.
No, the next room. Best of luck.
Was this room that we're in now solely for the
Yeah,
for the
like it
gelatinous
just cut. It was just gelatinous cube. The walls here are scrupulously clean in this
Right.
little.
I'm
room.
going to hit the door with my guitar.
Okay, but just roll
Just
damage.
in a moment of rage.
Just roll damage.
Roll damage.
So
you can
hit
It's
a giant
door,
steel
yeah.
door.
Where's my other D8? Any D8s here? There we go. 10.
Yeah, there's a spark of energy as you electrify the door. There's sort of bzzz, and then nothing.
That was probably stupid. I was just pissed off.
Oh, it's fair. Let's go back through the door as one.
Okay, you hop back through into the other door.
Anyone stronger than me want to knock over some bookcases?
just for
I'm not sure
annoyance.
that's going to do any good
Yeah,
at this point.
fuck it. I knock one over.
Okay.
If we're looking for more doors,
Okay.
that's where I'd put one.
I'd say if you're going to tear down bookshelves and look around, give me an investigation check with advantage from one person.
I'll do that.
Just
Yeah.
do
I'm
research.
I'm
the
sitting on
best.
the floor.
Because everyone is searching around.
I'm not. That's a 9, mate.
Okay, you pull down all of the bookcases. There's nothing behind them that you can see. There's now a lot of knock over bookcases. Although after a bit of it takes about 5 minutes. As you're doing this, you kind of find yourself thinking back, Scamp, to when you met Casimir back in Bulwark's Bay. I believe we mentioned there was a bit of time where he taught you how to use your thieves' tools and kind of gave you a few
Yeah.
extra ones. You do remember, and you never really found a use for it, hidden, tucked in amongst your thieves' tools is a tiny little ear trumpet. You've never really had a use for up until now.
Hmm.
Is that an instrument?
Yes.
Are you going to play a duet?
Yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
No, this bit goes in ears.
Oh, I thought it was like my tiny violin. Could play a tiny duet on tiny instruments for this stupid fucker's entertainment.
Oh, please do!
Or I could have a listen to the walls, see if any are different.
That'd probably be more intelligent.
And I start knocking on walls and listening with my trumpet.
Give me a thieves' tools check.
Is this dexterity based still? Or.
Yeah, we'll say.
Cool. Plus 6, plus 5, 11.
Okay. You go through the whole room bit by bit, including the vault door itself. And as you tap it, you do hear the sort of like there are little tumblers inside that resonate when you tap, when you give it a good clunk as you're listening to the thing next to where the combination dial is.
I might be able to open it.
Do you want to give it a crack?
Not enormously, but yeah.
Corzin's going to take time to reload his blunderbuss.
Everyone stay close but out of range?
I think we're just going to have to be in range because I think when you open that one, I think the other door's going to shut.
Okay.
That's my
Actually,
instinct on this one.
that's the thing. We've got a load of expendable books here.
They're still incredibly valuable. They're just not as valuable as the ones you have.
No, but there
yes.
are loads
Yeah,
on the shelves
there's
that we
loads
haven't
of them.
picked up.
Can we
there's loads
use
of
them
them.
to brace that door?
We've got bookcases.
You also have a series of sturdy oak bookcases.
We've
yes.
already knocked over.
Probably cleverer. We should still be in here, though, just in case
Yeah.
it still
Yeah,
shuts.
we'll just put it in the way, so if it tries to close, at least it might not.
It gives us a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You move bookcases into place so that you kind of have to step between them, but they are now bracing the second steel door, the one that leads out of this into the tiny antechamber.
I
And then
guess
you all
I'm
gather
gonna
inside.
open the door and I'm gonna tighten it.
Okay, give me a Thistles check.
Natural 20.
Oh, okay. You sort of listen, you hear the sort of... As you move it around, you listen, like kind of move it in one direction. You notice, oh, it's always been kind of going clockwise, anti-clockwise when you turn them before, and sort of, and you just hear this, okay, and then turn it back. Oh, okay, and then you do this about 4 more times until giving the handle a pull. You're able to push. This door actually opens inwards.
Okay.
Good, otherwise we're not.
Otherwise it would have crushed the gelatinous cube. And opens inwards into a wide stone chamber. This one has a little domed roof, and it is lit by mage-like crystals in the roof. And it's actually a little larger than the other ones you've seen. This one is a full 40-foot diameter circular chamber, like a wide circular arena. There are a variety of alabaster and marble statues, 12 of them, posed on plinths in like a little sort of sundial fashion around the room. The floor of the chamber is covered in fine white sand, and there is something in the centre covered by a mound of it. At the far end of the room is another huge steel vault door. Oh, well done! I thought you were going to have to get someone to really just ram that thing open, but...
Have you met
inventive.
us? We weren't ever ramming that open.
Oh, let me put it past Corzin.
Well then.
Anything else you'd like to say?
Best of luck. I'll be watching.
Done playing other people's fucking games.
How big is this room?
40-foot diameter circular. The highest point is, I'm going to say, is 20 feet at the very apex of the dome.
It's fireball shaped, that's what you've said.
Yes. Yes, this is a fireball-shaped room.
Yeah, though.
I know, but it'd be so funny
It'd
just to
be
fireball
so
the room.
funny.
A waste of a spell if there's nothing there, but it would be fun.
How deep's the sand on the floor?
Not that deep, as far as you can tell. Looking at it, it seems to be maybe an inch to an inch and a half deep, apart from the mound, where it's obviously
Is the
raised
mound
up.
totally stationary? Is there any sign of movement?
Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
You haven't entered the room yet. You're just
No.
Yeah.
13.
5.
9. How long do the hit points last?
Until your next rest.
Cool.
Short rest, but rest nonetheless.
You just had a short rest. So.
Oh, actually, so you're temporary. It is still short rest, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
wasn't
going
really
mad.
resting. I was doing stuff.
True. I guess
And I did roll and hit
anyone
some.
who didn't short rest then keeps their temporary hit points. So
I was going to ask actually about that anyway. I
Yeah.
have some hit point reduction from a previous encounter.
you have not had a long rest.
Right,
That's
fine.
still there.
That's fine.
And sorry, I know you got an 8.
8.
Can I ask you for yours again, Celestia? Because I know you got
13.
13. Okay. Yeah. It's the mound is not moving. It is quite small. It is around about. I want to say it's around about sort of like Corzin sized in size. If like Corzin was just lying down.
Corzin's a unit of measurement.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And
1.5 calls.
It is one course.
I'm gonna.
you can just see where the sand's a little thin, like that outline of what looks like the threads of what looks like maybe a rug of some sort.
Corzin hands the piece of shot to you and says, "Chuck this at it."
Me?
I'll do it.
Why
Really
you?
fun. Phew, I chucked the shot in.
I'm
Okay,
going to
At the
prepare an
shot.
attack.
make an attack roll as if you're using your gun, just to see if you can hit it, because it is a fair bit away.
I'm going to hold a cantrip.
Okay.
That is a 22.
Okay, you smack it with a bit of shot. The shot rolls down the mound, scattering some of the fine white sand, and reveals. You can see where it leaves a track. You can see that there is a fine rug beneath it, covering something. There are just faint dark brown splotches in parts of the rug.
That's blood, isn't it?
Old blood. That sounds like old blood.
Oh no.
Would it be like that rug that Olga had?
The one that tried to eat me?
Friend can't really be hurt by stuff, can he?
Friend, can you be hurt by stuff?
It's a little bit tricky. I can, if they have a rough idea of where I'm sort of projecting. It's not that I can be hurt, but they can break up the projection I use to interact with the world. So if that happens, I can't really. It takes me about a day to reform that.
Okay, well that's. Does it hurt? I don't want you.
I don't exactly feel pain the way you do.
Okay, could you give that a little? Just lift the edge, see what's under it.
All right. Give me a moment.
I'm going to continue to hold a cantrip.
It's within 60 feet, so the skull doesn't need to leave your pocket. There's just a pause before there's a sort of rustling, and you see sand is lifted, and pulling up the edge of this rug. The rug is peeled back, and you can see there is a small halfling skeleton in a tattered fine cloth of gold waistcoat and the remnants of a purple shirt. Oh no! You know, I really had actually expected you to go into the room before you did that. I'm curious what sort of spell that was. But this is still quite a lot of fun.
It's just a mage hand. Do you not know that?
Really?
Are you the Wolverine?
What can I say? A bit of a deception.
Why?
I wanted to get the measure of you.
Why?
We can always trade a question for a question. I'm waiting at the end of this.
What on earth makes you think that we want to do anything for you after this?
You know, I think you misunderstand. You're after some things that now belong to me.
Well, they belong to you as much as they belong to us.
I said question for question. So, if you want me to answer any more of your questions, you answer one of mine.
Go on.
Where are you really from, Scamp?
What did we tell you before? I can't remember. Did we lie? I don't remember lying. I might have lied.
Leah says, we said Scarrel's Cove.
Oh!
So actually,
You're not that insightful.
Interesting. All right.
I've answered your question.
So, carry on. Oh, and please do carry on if you want to continue. I'm not going to hasten my way forwards to meet you anytime soon. I can wait. There is actually a passage out of here, just so you know.
Figured.
Anyone else have any questions?
Was there ever a Destin?
There was, as a matter of fact. He was a very jolly sort, a little too trusting for his own good. I realised he had all of this very nice money and all of this comfortable wealth, and I, moved in. I'm afraid you've discovered what became of dear old Destin. That was a few months ago, though. I've been living his life ever since.
Corzin's knuckle cracks.
I have another question if you want to do another trade.
All right. Scamp, how did you find me?
What? When?
How did you know to come here to find me? I thought I was better hidden than this.
What the fuck is this?
Do I have any idea what he's talking about?
Roll an insight check.
Corzin would say out loud, why is he so interested in you?
He seems to believe some things about you that are clearly wrong.
I really hope they're wrong. I don't know who you are.
Interesting.
We literally came here to find some shit from Destin and maybe get some survivors out. I don't know what idea you've got.
Oh, well, that is curious. Well, let's hold off on questioning for a little while.
No, you said a question for a question. I have a question.
All right.
What do you want with Scamp? Why are you bothered?
I want to know whether they're here to kill me.
Well, now I am.
And I think I'll save my question till the next room.
Lovely. Well, I look forward to that intensely.
Voice goes silent.
Torch the rug, Scamp.
Air, Corzin.
And it's just bones.
Also, it doesn't attack us. If we want to progress...
Yeah, good point.
Clara, have you got acid? Or am I going mad?
That's actually a good question. Does Clara have acid?
I felt like she had acid, but I could be going crazy.
She does. Yes, actually, I do.
One of us could chuck some acid at it. That doesn't use up air.
I mean, you've got your mage hand, right?
Yes.
I could just pass it to you and you could just pour it onto the rug?
Yes, my mage hand, do you mind?
Not a problem. Keep a wary eye out. This feels wrong, my friend.
How strong are you? Could you push these statues over?
I'm not that strong.
No, I don't.
Not in this form.
Are they close enough together that if you push one over it would domino?
Oh, I think that would require an intelligence check to get the domino effect right and an athletics check to start pushing them over. But
Can I help?
Oh,
yeah, I'll give advantage.
Would shooting one pushes over?
These are heavy alabaster statues. You need to shove. Maybe the blunderbuss could, but if you blunderbuss shot at one,
yeah.
The acid first.
Okay, yeah,
And
acid first.
Then we'll
we'll
all
work
get
out
in the
that.
room.
scratches out one of her acid flask. Friend picks up the acid flask, undoes it. It floats over and begins pouring it over the rug. The inanimate rug begins to hiss and fizz and melt as this. I mean, it was already spoiled by all the bloodstains, but otherwise very expensive and valuable rug. Because
Now we know it's not magic too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been more than 10 minutes, so you don't still have that up.
But I should have done before we started moving.
But the
10 minutes is a bit scary now.
the rug begins to just melt and
But if it
bubble.
was magic, it wouldn't be affected by acid that quickly.
Not necessarily. It varies. It's melting in the way that you would expect an ordinary rug to. It's not reacting in any way to being melted.
Right, should we bite the fucking bullet and go in?
Yeah.
Can't stand here all day.
Can I roll the intelligence check to see?
Oh
if
yes,
that
yeah.
would-
And I'll say with people assisting you to sort of study this and work it out, you can give advantage for both the intelligence check and your first athletics check.
Left a bit. No, that's not going to do it.
Okay, the intelligence check is a 14.
Okay. You think you can do it from one of the ones near the entrance. So you'll need to. You and who is helping?
I'll help.
Okay, so you and Celestia both move in near one of the plinths.
Scamp doesn't do physical labour. Not since we got that skull that makes him lazy.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Right now, Leah, Clara, and Scamp are all. Are you in the little antechamber? Or have you already going to move?
As soon as we
you
move into
yep.
a door.
Everyone moves into the room at once.
Every time we go through a door,
That's
it's
fine.
as a group.
So you're all at the edge. So Clara, Leah, and Scamp. Clara's actually staying with you rather than immediately taking shelter because she's peering around this room suspiciously. So Corzin, Corzin, roll me an athletics check with advantage because you've got Celestia helping you. You kind of push on the plinth. Celestia's pushing on the statue.
Okay, that's 17.
17. Okay, so I'm going to call these one by one. I would like you to roll me a d6, please.
Okay.
I'm going to be watching just in case.
One.
The statue smashes into the next one, cracking in the process. You roll me another d6.
2.
Cracks into the next one, rolls over, roll me another d6.
3.
This is weird.
This is really weird. Third statue out of 12 is now smacked and falling over. Roll me another d6.
How much are we wanting it for, guys?
So much.
I'm leaving if you want to fall.
3.
Okay. 4 statues have now toppled over as it reels on to the next one. Give me another roll. It's going really well.
5.
And the last statue suddenly flicks up its arms, catches the statue next to it, and everyone roll initiative.
Got it. Hey, we're at range still.
Yeah.
So
13.
9.
Okay, so with that in mind, so 13 from Scamp, 9 from Celestia.
22.
Oh, nice. Okay, 22.
So not good on a dungeon crawl, you know? All my spells are like fucking psychic.
We've spent so long not fighting people and just talking our way out of shit. I've forgotten how to do anything.
Me too.
Have you forgotten how to dungeon?
So very much.
We've not really dungeoned in this way since
Slavitska's
yeah,
Isle.
Slavitska's
right?
Isle.
Yeah.
Last time you tried to give us a dungeon, we went in through the roof.
Yeah. Okay, so Leah got a 6 for her initiative, and let's roll for that. Okay. Let's get the monster manual up then. I'm pretty sure that is not enough to go before Corzin, however. So Corzin, you can see it is a good, based on where you are, it's like a good 30 feet away.
Okay.
The statue, which has suddenly come to life and caught the statue that would have impacted into it. You can see now it looks like akin to like a classic sort of elf from the Tyrian Empire in a toga. But the toga, you can see, is actually split at the back, and 2 wings have folded in to look like they're part of the toga material.
That's cool.
And now that you look at it more closely, as its face moves, the stone grinding into a snarl, it actually has much more bestial features than the serene elven appearance that it first put on.
All right.
Okay, you are up first. It is 30 feet away from you. There are, at this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 7 statues that have not been cracked in the room thus far.
Okay.
So it's 3 statues we got. How many? Yeah, 3 we got,
You
and then
have
one that's alive.
you've smashed 4
4,
and 1 is alive.
Okay.
The other ones haven't done anything yet.
Nope.
No. Okay. I'm going to light one of my bombs and throw it in its direction.
Okay, roll an attack roll.
Okay. That's just dex based, isn't it? Okay, that's a 24.
Nice. Okay, so this is a fire damage, which makes a difference. So roll damage.
Okay. Should I reroll that?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. That was 10 and another one. 13.
13 points of damage. All right. With a and a resounding blast, you blow just splinters, chunks of stone out of the shoulder of the stone-like creature, which it immediately lets loose a low sort of gravelly.
Did it affect the statue next to it at all? Was it close enough to hit the next one along?
It is close. Bombs do a 5-foot radius, so it blasts the statue that fell into it.
Okay.
But the other statues are not quite close enough for the next statue is not quite close enough to be impacted. Anything else you wish to do, Corzin?
I mean, if I was doing that with one hand, with my off hand, I can shoot it with one of my pistols, maybe. I can get into a position close enough to it that I can shoot it without disadvantage.
Yeah, I've allowed you to do this before. So, yeah, you just step forward, and actually, yeah, you're already 30 feet away. You're well within the range for that. So
I thought pistols were 2080.
You got better pistols later. You initially started with slightly dodgy pistols, and I changed the stats of the weapon, so you got better. So you got better pistols.
Okay, right, cool. So that is 21.
Yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
Okay. 10 percussive.
Okay. This is an occasion where this is a rare occasion where damage resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, slashing still applies to percussive damage, because the rules in the book are that it's from resistant to those from non-adamantine weapons. And I think normally if they've just got, for my rule is if they've just got resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, percussive ignores that. But these things are tough enough that even bullets have some issues. So that's 10, half to 5.
Okay, fine.
Damage from these things. So it takes another 5 points of damage as you splinter a chunk of stone out of it.
Gotta be careful not to metagame that one with the adamantine.
Yeah.
You can see it's not as effective.
You can see it's not as effective, but this is like something that I would be that I'm sort of stating as much for the nerds in the audience who know what this is.
Right. Okay.
And my rules. But yeah, if you want to do a nature check on your turn as a bonus action to try and identify these things, you can.
We'll do so.
Okay. But not on this turn because you used your bonus already.
Yeah.
So the creatures act next. So the statue, the back of its wings, the back of its toga spreads into 2 wide wings, and it immediately launches itself off its perch at Corzin. The creature flies forward and is next to Corzin, is going to immediately try and slash at you first with its claws and then bite down at you with long stony fangs. So claws, that's just an 11.
Okay.
Fangs was even worse. That was an 8. Both of those miss. However, although you have suspected it, you're not really aware of where they are. So when 3 more of the statues suddenly sprout wings, fangs, and teeth, and fly at you, those guys are a bit surprising.
Okay.
So I'm going to spread these out. 1 goes for Celestia, another goes for Corzin. So there's 3 around Celestia and Corzin who are together. 1 is going to go for Scamp, actually. It's all right. 3 of you bunched together.
For once.
Okay, so 3 attacks. Oh, nope, that was a 12.
Wow.
For its first one. Actually, 6 attacks. However, the second attack is much more effective. Although it slashes at you with its claws, it reaches down and it manages to bite stony teeth into your shoulder. Not too far, but far enough. You take 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Then 2 attacks against Celestia. A slash, that's 15 with the claws. And the bite is 14, however. So you manage to avoid the bite, but the claws still slash down your front, raking
14 is my armor class. Does that not mean it hits?
Oh, sorry, I thought your armor class was 15. My bad.
My armor's 14.
Yeah, no, sorry, because it used to be
right, don't worry.
13.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of those hit then. So you take 6 and 3, 9 total damage from the rake across your chest and the bite that just manages to get your arm. Then it's the 2 that are against Scamp with advantage. That is a dirty 20 from 1, and the other one definitely hits.
Cool.
Okay, so you take 5 and 7, so 12 points of total damage as these.
Hellish rebuke.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just gonna scream at it in a language I don't know how to speak, but I do know how to speak.
It's a dex save for them, right? I think,
yes, it is.
14, that's not enough to hit your DC.
It's still charisma based, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so that is.
Yep, okay.
That's enough.
Blue flames lit.
17.
Nice.
That's really good.
Blue flames just burst out of the wound, wreathing it, as it takes 17 points of damage. It is now, as the flames lick past, parts of its stone just crack, flake, and crumble away. Just like there are deep flaws that immediately begin appearing and cracking into the stone. It is now looking as injured as the one that Corzin has been wailing on.
But particularly injured, or
Not particularly injured,
these
but,
things seem a bit...
but it's been more effective than the gunshot.
Yeah.
As effective as the bomb.
Yeah. Okay.
Although larger in scale. Okay, Scamp, you are actually next. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Clara. Oh, sorry, no. Clara is next. Clara is going to disengage, and then run and shelter behind one of the plinths. Mm-hmm. She's not hiding because she doesn't have the action. But Clara is now sheltering to give herself some cover. Okay, now it's Scamp.
Okay, I will cast Slow. I'll grab the little skull in my pocket.
Okay.
And just...
Feeling the dull sort of lethargy run through your veins, you cast it outwards. So that's con saves from them?
Yes.
Okay. Respectable con, but we'll see.
No, wisdom save, sorry.
Wisdom okay,
save.
That's a bit better. What's your save DC? 16?
16.
Okay. So
and I get my reaction back at the beginning of my turn.
You do?
So how are they looking?
Okay, two of them. One of them is definitely on the... two of them are on the verge... Are close to... one of them is... Yeah, two of them... I'd say one of them looks like maybe you could get them down, but they would otherwise save. The other one... so two are currently looking like they're going to save. Two are going to fail. Both of those that are going to save are by an inch. So you can pick one.
Yeah, where are they?
So the one next to you fails. The first one that went for Corzin has failed. So those are slowed. The second one in Corzin and the one in Celestia.
One in Celestia.
Okay.
I will
roll bend your luck.
Oh dear, it's a -4.
Oh, okay, that one is also slowed. So it's slow from those guys. All right, they suddenly their motions begin to grind down as they begin to move with the speed of something more approaching their statuesque form. Okay, they have now slowed down immensely in speed. At the end of your turn, however, Scamp, can I ask you to roll a D100?
Now's not the time for a fireball.
100.
Oh shit.
Oh.
No,
100? I know what this is.
Is that the way around?
Yeah, 000?
No, it's 10 then. Sorry, wrong way around.
10,
Misread
yeah.
it. 10.
Okay.
Is that bad? That feels
You
bad.
immediately feel a burst of energy rising up within your fingers. You need to pick. Targets, and you. You must pick some targets.
And is this? Do I feel like this is an attack that I'm doing?
You feel like it's
This is bad energy, not good energy.
Roll a wisdom check because just to say for this instance.
Natural 20.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely attack.
Okay, well I'm going for the monsters.
All right,
how many targets?
Have 3, 4, 5. 2, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 of these that you can launch.
Oh.
Jesus, in one turn? That's mad.
Yeah, and you can direct them to hit simultaneous single creatures or multiple.
I don't know what it is.
There's only one that's not slowed, isn't there?
There's only one that's not slowed. It's currently for completely intact.
That's probably 7 at the one that's intact.
Okay, you extend your hand and you feel this sort of energy building in it, and suddenly a torrent of 7 bursts of almost like heat wave blasts come out, and you focus them in, and they all unerringly move to ram the...
Can I roll the damage
for
this
the
rather
creature.
than averaging it?
Yeah, so this is... you can roll this. So roll 7d4 and add 7.
I have plenty of d4s, which...
Robbie does not need to be given extra dice at any point.
No.
And add how many, sorry?
Add 7.
Add 7. So that's 7, 11, 15, 17, 18, 22, 29.
That's it.
Ooh,
Excellent.
okay.
Just melt one. That'll be really pleasing. to
As
me.
you just a series of percussive blasts start chiseling into this creature, it's like it's a bit like, you know, those classic mob movies where the Tommy gun spray goes across a wall and just leaves huge chunks in it. One of the wings just comes off slightly and is now hanging like almost on a hinge.
What spell was that?
That was a 5th level magic missile.
Fuck me, man. Wow.
Which is one of the results you can get.
I don't know what I did. I don't know how I do it. I don't think I can do it again.
Fucking hell, darling. Okay.
You hear a voice call out, "Interesting. Very interesting."
Fuck off.
And
Can't
yeah.
do level 5 spells yet.
It's getting some serious misapprehensions about the threat you pose.
I'm not that high a level.
God, what level is that? It's like level 9 maybe? Level 10?
Yeah,
To
you
get
must be
level
level 9
5
to get
spells?
level 5 spells.
Fuck
That's
me.
not
That's
us yet.
really high up.
Okay, you are a couple levels off from that, just. So, Scamp, do you want to move, or are you happy where you are?
I'm in combat, aren't I?
You're in combat. The creature in front of you is slowed and has no reaction.
Oh, does it not have reactions if
I
it's
think,
slowed?
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me check that, because I'm not moving if it's got a reaction. Oh no, can't use reactions.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm
Hey.
out of there.
Okay. Slip on past.
I'm gonna move my full movement.
Okay.
Just to... Oh no, because then I'm leaving people. No.
It's only Leah next to you, although you are also close. The gargoyle could then turn on Corzin.
Where's Clara? She's hidden out the way.
Clara
isn't
is well out of the way.
she? I will step back, but so I can still see the thing, and if it goes for Leah, I'm in a place to help.
Okay, so you step back 5 feet away, so you're back.
A little bit further.
keep moving.
Just behind Leah.
Okay, back behind Leah. There's limited space because
Yeah,
you're
it's
quite
not a
close to
big
the
room,
wall,
yeah.
but yeah, okay, you get back so that you've got a bit of distance. All right, Celestia.
How... Actually, does slow give anyone advantage on attacks or anything like that?
Their AC's lower.
Their
Okay,
armor class
cool,
is
cool,
lower, the dex saves lower.
Just checking that I'm
Yeah,
not
dex
doubling
saves low.
that.
Yeah.
So basically, how many of them can I get in a 20-foot cube without getting anyone I like?
Because of the position of people, you can get
I'm happy to move anywhere in the
any
room, obviously.
2 of them.
Any 2. How many of them are there? Like 6?
4.
4. Actually, that's worth it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck it.
totally.
So
So there are
One of them's not slowed.
Yeah,
I'll get the not
If you
slowed
can get
one.
the not slowed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
get one that's slowed and one that's not slowed.
cool. The not slowed one, you can get the one either the one that was previously attacking Scamp or the one that's the other one that's currently attacking Corzin in this blast.
Yeah. I'm gonna ruffle my hair up and make some static electricity.
Nice.
And then the purple spirit sort of swims up around my hands and I kind of throw a bit of it. And
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Fairy Fire, and while that happens, there's a noise from the guitar that goes wow without me actually touching it, which I think is fun.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So you
Is that the first time
filter
you
up.
cast that?
It's been a
No,
while.
it's been a while.
I've not cast it in a long time, but I've been able to do Fairy Fire since level 3. It's a drow thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you catch. I'll say the one that was previously next to Scamp, and the one that was next to the one that is next to. The untouched one, both in fairy. In the scope of the Fairy Fire, it's a dex save, I believe. That is because their saves are -2.
Yeah.
One of them is getting a 16. You
I've used my
used your
reaction.
reaction. Okay. In which case, so that was the one that is slowed. Gets is actually the one that evades the Fairy Fire.
Okay, but the not slowed one is now Fairy Fire.
Yeah,
which
the other
kinda
one is now
helpful.
Fairy Fired.
I mean, it's a bit shit to use that spell and they get 1, but it's not too bad.
It's the one that poses the biggest damage.
Yeah, it's
right.
true.
Yeah.
So.
Still helpful.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just trying to decide if I want to do anything else. Yes, I get inspirations on a short rest now, so fuck it. Corzin, fuck them up. I
Okay.
wink at you. Rainbow comes off the wink. You get inspiration.
Hey.
Inspiration for you. Have a little inspiration chest.
Huzzah! Okay. In which case that makes it Leah's go next. Leah is going to lay into this thing with her. She doesn't really have too many options combat wise, so she's going to lay into it with just her sword. and just take the resistance. So 2 attacks. Oh no!
Oh, even with the lower AC.
Even with the lower AC, she just rolled lower. It's like, oh, well, shit. Yeah, no. Small sword against a statue, not going well.
Back away.
She can because it's not it's not an attack of opportunity. She's going to pull back to nearer to you.
Oh shit, where am I? I didn't move.
You are next to one gargoyle.
Will you allow me to retrospectively move because I forgot, or is that allowed? If not,
Finally.
that's okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
fine. You
Literally
can.
just backing off by
'Kay.
10 feet or something.
Yeah, you back off a bit so it's not immediately within range of you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because I just forgot that moving was a thing.
okay. That's Leah's go. Top of the round, it's Corzin.
Okay. I've got one right on me, haven't I?
You got 2 right on you.
Right.
One of which is slowed, one of which is fairy fire.
Okay, so I will have advantage to hit one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the other has lower AC. Right.
Yeah.
The one that is slowed, then I will attempt to. I'm going melee with this.
Yeah.
So I'll roll that one first. Natural 1, but lucky. Okay, that's a 24.
That hits, roll damage.
Okay, that's 6. Of the 2, which looks more injured?
I'd say the fairy fired one because it got chain missiled.
Right, well, I'll come to that one.
Yeah. Which weapon are you using for this first attack?
This one is Dishonor.
Okay. Is a magical weapon, so
Yeah.
roll full damage.
Right, okay.
Well, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, that was it.
That's it. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 6 damage to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, with my offhand, I'll hit the one that's fairy fired. Okay, that's 22.
Advantage on that one.
Oh, yeah, right.
Not that you need it, but
22.
Hey. Okay. Roll.
Just in case it's...
Yeah, no, fair.
So, but sorry, I my brain skipped for a moment. Was the first attack against the slowed one?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I adjusted that correctly. Okay, so yeah, you clip into it, and Dishonored and Death sort of takes actually manages to chip into the stone and carve a fragment of its strangely stony muscle out, and as it does so, one of the arms seems to lag a little.
Okay.
It seems to actually have some sort of structure. It depends on.
Okay.
What's your other weapon you're using?
The other weapon would be the Drow Saber.
Okay.
Is that your second
It's
attack
not
or your
magical, but you get a +1 to attack and damage.
Okay, cool. Right.
So roll damage.
Sorry, what was that?
Are you not attacking with the same weapon when you do 2 attacks? Because your offhand is the one that's the
Well,
bonus
it's-
action.
The one you can do is it's 1, 2, and then the third is the bonus action.
Oh, okay.
but wouldn't it have to be the same?
You
I don't
can
know.
choose to alternate.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But they also have something else I'm going
Cool.
to do with the bonus action. But...
Yeah.
Okay, so that is... Oh, with a +1, that's a 16.
16 total damage.
No, 16 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits roll damage.
Yeah, okay. 16 total damage, yeah, I'll have some of that. Okay, right. So, with this one... Alright, that's still a 5.
Okay.
But I'm going to invoke Slayer's Prey and roll another d6.
Okay. You make this your target.
Okay, that's 6 extra damage.
Great. Then halves down to 5 as you manage. You hit it harder, but it only cuts out about as much stone as the slightly weaker hit
Fair enough.
did. All right. Do you want to move it, all, or are you happy doing these?
I'm going to get... Wait, hang on. Are these considered large?
They are medium.
Okay, no, I'd get pummeled if I moved away from them.
Yeah.
I've got to stay, so...
All right. Yeah. Only one of them can take an attack of opportunity against you, as the other is slowed.
True, but still.
All right. You're gonna hold ball. Okay. Makes it these creatures' turns. Stony creatures are going to. So you. Ooh, everyone give me just a perception check.
5.
2.
19.
19.
Somebody's paying attention.
Corzin, you hear come from somewhere, but you don't understand the language. Roll an intelligence check.
Okay. 7.
Oh
No,
no.
don't understand it. Okay.
What the hell?
So the two we got gargoyle changes then. Is that right? Well, yeah, I kind of let them what those are.
They're gargoyles.
They're
We know
gargoyles.
they're gargoyles.
We know they're gargoyles. It's fine. So the two gargoyles that were on Corzin are going to continue Corzining. One sort of slowly slashes at you. Doesn't have disadvantage on its attacks, just only has one. So that, that's a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
So you do still take 6 points of damage, Corzin, as it grinds down across your flesh. The other one, the one that was attacking Celestia, is going to start ignoring Celestia. And it's got half speed, so flapping its wings, it's still able to just about reach Scamp, as does the one that was previously attacking Scamp, which is also going to go for Scamp. So that's 2 on Scamp now. Both slowed, both going to take a single attack. Nope for one of them, and the other is an 18.
Larp.
Okay. Scamp, you take 5 points of damage and roll concentration.
I'm going to tides this because I
Okay.
think it's important. Yes, it is important. It was good to tides it. That is 15.
Instead of 7.
Yeah, you got that. You've got that.
What was the damage, sorry?
So it's 5 points of damage, but you just managed to hold on to that
Ow.
slow effect. All right. The other two that were attacking Corzin already did, didn't I? Yes. Okay, that's the end of their turn. Clara is going to hide. But she does. Though not that well. Scamp.
Right, so there's 2 of them on me.
2 of them on you, 2 of them on Corzin.
Okay. Any of these decks, I should have checked that before. I just suddenly thought of that. Which ones above dexterity saves? None of them. Oh well. Okay, I'm going to back up and firebolt one of them then.
Okay. Yep, they're both slowed, so make your attack roll.
Whichever one looks
More
more
injured.
injured.
Cool.
That's 15 to hit.
That hits. Yes, roll damage.
Is that because of the lower AC? 10.
Okay. You blast away a chink of stone from one of the weaker.
I'm going to try and move out of how far they can move, if I can.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You could. They seem to have about 30 feet of flight speed.
Oh, we're going to catch
If
them.
they, well halved, so you can move further along the room if you want.
Yeah, if I can make a route where they would have to pass people by if they're following me.
Okay.
Give other people opportunity.
Yeah.
to
Okay. You position yourself in a way that they have to pass Leah if they want to get to you.
Cool.
Because Leah is actually also next to them. All right. That makes it Celestia.
How many of them could I get in a 15-foot cube?
At this point, 3.
Okay.
You can get all of them except the one that originally attacked Corzin.
Without getting any friends as well.
Without getting any friends, yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to do a knee slide into the middle of them. Go down my guitar and do a fucking 3rd level thunder wave.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
literally, fuck it.
Okay,
at this
Constitution
point.
saves, right?
Let me just check.
I think it
Yeah,
is.
con saves.
All right, so that nope, nope, and yes. Okay, 2 fail, 1 succeeds.
Okay, well, that's not bad, actually.
Yeah.
I'll take that, you know.
Okay.
I take that d8. 2, 3, and 4. All right. That would be 4d8, wouldn't it? Yes, it would.
Yes.
Okay, that's not terrible, actually. So that is 17, 21.
21. Okay, the fairy fired one shatters into fragments of stone shards.
In.
That one is now gone. 21 was that?
Yeah.
Okay. One is one stumbles, but is still intact. That was the one that and is not moved. Another is thrown away 10 feet away from Leah, past her. and that one takes the full 21. It's actually been uninjured up to this point. So it is now actually... but it now has several cracks in it where it smacks into a pillar, one of the pedestals, and takes a deep crack that runs through its body.
Killed through the power of rock and roll. I love it.
Okay. Do you want to move, or are you happy where you are?
No, but I am going to just turn to Scamp and go, make it die! And you're going to get inspiration.
Hey!
Okay.
Leah is
So
going
she's feeling very articulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leah's going to strike at the weaker of the two next to her then.
Death metal album.
2 strikes.
Make it die. By Celestia Stardust.
Okay, both of those hit. Although we will halve the damage. Where's my other D8? There it is. Sorry, Leah. It'll be 6 and 7, half to 6 points of damage total. Okay, she chips further into that particular gargoyle, but it's not enough to destroy it outright. All right.
Fight her against a gargoyle, like fair. It's
Yeah,
not happening.
she doesn't have
is
magical
it?
weapons.
Yeah.
She's going to
I need
hold
to get us
fire.
some magical
I
weapons.
really do.
All right, that makes it top of the round. It's Corzin. There is, let's see, you have 1 gargoyle next to you. The other 2 are spaced around either side of Leah.
Okay.
The fairy fired one is gone. Everyone else is slowed.
Right, okie dokie. I will concentrate on that one then.
Okay.
So I'll roll the first attack. Alright, 22.
That hits. Roll damage.
8 slashing. That's with,
Disarmed.
yes.
Cool. You carve a chunk into it.
And the second one. That's dirty 20.
Okay. Roll damage.
5.
Okay. You put 2 new dents into it. Anything for your bonus?
Yeah, sod it. I'll roll a third one.
Okay.
Oh. That's no. I'll roll the inspiration.
Yes. Inspiration.
Okay.
This is with the +1.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, that
It
would
has
have
to
been
be your offhand.
okay. That would have been a 10. So
Oh, mate.
11.
That is not quite
no.
enough. It sort of rockily shudders out of the way before that particular blade can do anything more than lightly scratch it.
Rockily bastard.
Weird. Okay, so that makes... you happy where you are? Do you want to move?
Is there a way I can move around it so that I might be flanking it with one of my allies?
No, there's no one else really near it.
Okay, are there any of the...
You could move so that you're flanking one with Leah. Bear in mind, flanking gives you no advantage under the rules that I'm using,
Yeah, fine.
unless you're a rogue.
They're close enough that I have 2 targets rather than one I can usefully
Okay,
get
I'll
at.
say you can get into a position so that you're in between Leah,
Yeah.
with Leah. So you
Yeah.
run through Leah's legs, and you find yourself standing next to her with these 2 gargoyles either side.
Right.
Which is relevant because all of the gargoyles are going to go for Scamp now. So you get an attack of opportunity against one. Leah
Okay.
gets an attack of opportunity against one.
Natural 20.
Hey, roll
Yes.
damage. It's good because Leah fucked that one up.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that is... Am I getting that right? Is that 11?
I don't know what you're doing,
No,
darling.
okay, so no.
That's me.
I'm adding the damage bonus to both, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay, right. So that's...
Also, it's roll one and
You
double.
roll
it,
one and
isn't it?
double
Roll
for
one and
crit.
double it, but yeah.
oh,
Is
okay.
the way we do it, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. Do it for future. 11 is enough in either. It would have been enough with either of those rolls.
Yeah, fine.
3 or 4. As it
completely-
takes flight, you ram the sword out and manage to catch it and sort of angle its flight downwards so that it smashes itself into the stone floor beneath the sand.
How tall are these things? It's like a 2'10" man.
Yeah, sort of.
Right. No, you don't.
Okay, that gargoyle is
That was
more.
terrifying. I say from across the room.
Leah's own swipe misses, however. The two remaining gargoyles both fly for Scamp and are now in front of Scamp. They're going to make their attacks. Yeah, one of those is an 18. Goodbye, die. And does 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And roll concentration.
That is 17.
That is enough. Okay. All right, you hold on to the slope. So, with that in mind, it proceeds on to you, Scamp. Clara is still remaining hidden.
Oh, I really wish I had error effect stuff.
Yeah, the two remaining
Other than the
gargoyles
big
are
one.
right in front of you.
Oh dear.
How bad are they? Which is the one that's particularly worse than the other?
Yes. Both are now pretty beaten up, but one is much more beaten up than the other.
I will take a couple of steps back and fire a firebolt at that one. I'd rather not do fire, but this is the most effective thing.
Yeah.
18? No, 19.
That hits, roll
19.
damage.
I can do them counting.
Ooh, 15. I'm rolling different d10s every
You
time, and it's
manage
doing
to
well.
strike it right dead in the middle of the existing cracks, and as the rock heats, it just splits and splinters. It takes another step forward and crumbles into multiple limb pieces.
Ew.
That gargoyle is no more. Okay. Anything else you wish to do?
Never buy a statue, ever.
Yeah.
Okay, Celestia.
I'm still in the same place, aren't I?
Yep, one of these left. It's about 30 feet. I want to say it's about 25 feet. From
Just one left.
Yeah.
How damaged is it looking?
Quite, but not. It's like about, half of its structural integrity left.
I'm gonna get out my tiny violin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at it with a very sincere, upset expression. I'm gonna go, all your friends are dead. So sad. Just go,
I love it.
and I'm gonna cast Distant Whispers at fucking level 3 because I'm pissed off.
Okay.
Fuck it.
I love that so much.
It does not succeed.
Yay! That's many d6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 d6.
Ooh.
Oh, 2 of them are 1s, for fuck's sake, and 1's a 2. So that is 2, 4, 8, 12.
Okay.
Is that enough?
Not enough. Sadly.
Fuck it!
It's got more,
Such a
more
good
damage
spell.
than that. But as the words reach out of it, there's a sort of, and you see some of the cracks just seem to and grow wider in response.
I'm gonna look at Leah and go, come on, that was funny.
Yeah.
And then give her inspiration.
See, shrugs this. I've heard better from you. And it's going to race forwards.
Oh!
Ow.
It's going to race forwards to attack. Okay, that, because of the slowed, is actually enough, I think. That's not the right thing. So that should be enough for both of those to strike. And that's a 10 and a 6. 8 total. Not enough to take it completely down either, unfortunately. But it is not. But she does manage to succeed in chipping off more stone and widening those cracks.
Leah's having like the worst fight.
It's just not an enemy she's really well prepared against. She's saving that last fighting spirit just in case. Okay, that makes it. Yeah, she's now next to the gargoyle. That makes it Corzin.
Okay, I'm going to move in and. Oops. That would be a dirty 20.
That hits. Roll damage.
6 slashing.
Okay. Next attack.
Second one. That would be an 18.
Okay, damage.
10 slashing.
And how would you like to finish this one?
Okay, is it facing away from me?
Yes, it's facing Scamp.
All right. So from Scamp, from your point of view, what this would look like is it just sort of starts to crumble at the knees, And then it sort of puts its hand forward, and just as it sort of turns around, Corzin appears over the back of it and cuts its head off. Landing sort of on its shoulder blades, and watches the head roll away.
It rolls off into a corner.
Wow.
That was very impressive. I play a small solo on the violin.
Sounds a little bit like this one.
Corzin cocks his tricorn.
Okay.
They really didn't like me, did they?
No.
No.
Do you know this man at all?
I don't know.
He seems to know you.
Or at least have heard of you.
Why? In the nicest way possible. I mean, absolutely no offence, but why would he have heard of you?
I don't know.
You're a street
I've
kid
not
from
heard of
Scarroll's
me.
Cove.
I don't know.
I mean, I know there's the whole magic stuff, but, like, why would he know that?
I feel like I'm missing something big here.
I feel like there's a piece of this puzzle that we're seriously missing.
If we run into him again, you're going to have to read his thoughts.
Oh, yeah. Planning on that.
But in the meantime, and I'm going to
That was
take a...
weird, though. They all just went for me. It was like you weren't even there.
It was really strange. It wasn't like the rest of us weren't damaging them either.
I
We
was-
were.
I mean,
Could they have been being directed remotely?
I didn't hear anything or see anything.
Well, I heard something going on. It wasn't a language that I could understand, but it was like a
what
whisper.
languages do you speak?
Just common. Well, Jovan and Halfling.
Okay. Does it sound like this? And I speak Dwarvish.
Did
It
it?
doesn't sound like Dwarvish.
All right.
It's not like a hock hock.
So does it sound like this? I speak Elvish.
No.
Laura Mipsum's dollar sitan met the pisking queveskit no.
Okay, I'm not good at this one. I'm gonna
No,
have to
it
find
was
something
more sort of
written
like...
down. I find them
Could it be
Rubbish
Saligan?
for a bit of infernal
No, I'd
writing.
understand
Okay.
that.
You sort
I
of
read the bit of infernal.
yeah. It sounds a bit similar to the infernal that Scamp is reading.
Well, that's the closest that I've heard thus far.
Like,
That's a
same
bit
language
scary.
or a related language? I don't know how you wouldn't know.
Roll an intelligence check.
Okay. That's 14.
Actually, now that you think about it, you remember that time when Scamp just started rattling out that weird devil tongue just before,
thanks.
yeah, just before they dropped you while you were flying in the middle of the woods, and yeah, it did sound a lot like that.
Yeah, it's
same
kind of like
language.
that. I've heard you speak it before once or twice, but
When I speak it,
Yeah.
it's still my voice. Was this his voice?
was it enough to know that it was him?
I mean,
He's
it didn't.
changed his voice a couple of times.
Yeah, there's
True.
no real way to tell.
We don't even know the Wolverine's real.
It's impossible to tell, but I would be willing to bet that's our best.
He's gonna pull off his
Most-
mask at the end, and it's Reginald.
Yeah.
It was Reginald all along.
Reginald, how could you?
If it wasn't film.
Take off another mask and it's a gun to the friendly.
I did all of it to get back at my old lover.
Okay.
We should take that watch back to Gunter, though.
Yeah.
We should just
Was planning on it anyway.
just in case it's important. I mean, only if we get back there. I'm not going for a fucking special trip to Gunter to take his watch back. You can fuck off. But if we get there, yeah, sure.
Right. Okay. So we're fairly well established. It was. What is that language?
Infernal?
Weird tiefling language.
Right. Well, if that's what it
Could
was,
he be a tiefling?
Yeah, could be.
He disguised himself once.
very good disguise. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen tieflings pass themselves as human, or others.
Maybe he's a tiefling with magic.
Yeah.
People with magic can do that. Or a potion. He could have had somebody's hair or something.
Yeah.
Could have had multiple people's hair. You can do potions that make you look like people with that.
Was it a male voice you heard?
Was it?
I mean, it's hard to tell. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Really hard to tell. Like, roll another intelligence check.
Nah, I couldn't quite place the gender, but it was while we were fighting. So I'm guessing it must have been some kind of instructions.
This is quite scary.
Maybe it's just the language the stone things spoke. And someone was directing them in that.
Okay.
Or
Clara, by this point, has begun carefully picking up pieces of like gargoyle, broken bits of claw and so on. She's inspecting this. Pretty sure these were gargoyles.
All right. Can you do anything with bits of them?
Don't know.
What
I'll dissolve
language?
these down and see if I can later.
what language do they speak?
They don't, but I think they can be trained to respond to commands.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that would make sense.
I mean, we could just ask him in exchange for another question. He
I know
might.
he's listening, so I'm hesitant to say too much. But
Give me a moment, and I take a moment to push the other statues over.
Okay.
Not taking any chances.
That was satisfying.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
Do you need a rest?
That slow one just makes me sleepy.
Do you want to rest? We could have a little one.
We'll make sure there's
Or is it
nothing more
worth
threatening
pushing?
here.
Until we can have a long one.
Maybe. Getting a little low, but I'm not horrendous.
As you sit down and examine the white sand, you realise, yeah, this is totally like marble dust from whatever statues those gargoyles replaced.
Right.
Right. Should we keep going?
I think it's probably wise.
Does anyone need a little rest?
I'm doing okay. Spells are the thing that's worrying me, but
Same.
I'm not doing terribly. I've got a few things left. A few tricks I can pull.
Leia says, you know, surprisingly uninjured given given how ineffective this was. She waves her small sword.
We should maybe get you something magical, darling.
Well, if it's as easy as all that, you know.
I mean, I'm bleeding a bit here and here, but it's not bad.
Do you need
bleeding.
anything?
No, but not that bad.
Yeah, I only got hit by it once.
I'm down about a third. Down.
Okay.
Should have kept one of the other sabres. Never mind.
Do you need a potion or anything? We've got quite a few.
No, I'd rather not waste them just in case. We don't know how long we're going to be in here.
Should we have a little peer through
Can
the
I-
door and see how bad it looks?
Can I take my healer's kits to Scamp?
Yeah, I'll say if you like this is as mentioned during a short rest,
Yeah.
You can expend a use
If
to
we
do
are
an
having a
extra-
short rest, I mean, I'll say it's in character. If we're going to do a short rest, I could sing a song that always makes people feel better.
Oh, I wouldn't say
Shall
no.
we just do a little short rest then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you settle down in resting,
Dice
so
roll.
every use of your healer's kit you expend, add an
I
extra d6
probably
to
don't
healing.
need
Yeah.
it. I've got
Okay.
a pretty good con.
I
and
believe
I'll
it's
roll
a
couple of dice.
D8 for Song
Yeah,
of Rest.
Song of Rest, everyone gets that for free.
I sing to you all, the Wolverine's a cunt. The Wolverine's a cunt. We'll kill him when we all get out. The Wolverine's a cunt.
Love it. Do
8 plus 14. Yeah, that's much better.
you need any more?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm only a couple down now.
Okay, so, right, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I'm fine.
I'm going to leave it, you know.
So,
I think those are Did we take other damage today before this? Because I don't think we did. I think these hit dice are ones that I've left on by accident.
What about the short rest tea? What did you take?
you
That's where I took damage, yeah. I'm not going to roll any hit dice because I don't have many left from
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Short rest tea was the
we're
thing.
not going to do that.
Okay, you take an hour to sort of rest up, sitting in the sort of awkward, sitting some distance away from Destin's skeleton.
Actually, I'm going to examine that.
Okay, give me a medicine check.
Well, he's quite clearly dead.
No, there's a
Two.
chance I can save him.
That's a 7 total.
It's been some time since Destin died, long enough that there's no meat left on the there's only the finest little bit of shreds of dried and meaty matter left in there.
All right. Does he have anything in his pockets?
No, it appears that he was looted
Right.
after
No,
he
he
was
would have,
killed,
wouldn't he? Yeah.
Figured.
before someone shoved a rug over him and covered it in sand.
Poor bastard.
shall we have a look at this door, see if it's trapped?
Yeah, fuck it.
Give me an investigation check.
Well, this was
idea.
number 4.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit here and bleed a bit more.
Oh god, man. 10.
You don't see any traps. It is locked. There is a combination lock dial on it again.
Kick it.
There is a hollow sort of.
I'll give it a
That didn't
go. Stand a little back.
Okay.
Yeah. Reload again.
And I'll hold my guitar up like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I possibly can. That's a dirty 20.
Yes.
With a little bit of. You managed to essentially stethoscope the combination lock again.
Nice.
The lever pulls, and you're ready to open it. You get into your positions as before, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And pull open the doors. Again, the sort of air pressure changes. And beyond, you can see there is another stone chamber, this time back into the 20 foot by 20 foot variety, 10 foot high ceiling, which has lit by mage stones in the ceiling with a variety of beautiful paintings on the walls. Every wall has paintings on it. Most of them are too large to carry, a variety of landscapes or beautifully done portraits. There are 3 that are small enough to fit into your backpack, should you wish to. They do not take up a... I'll say that if you could take 3 of them and it would fill up the rest of your backpack space, Scamp. And each of those is worth... Your keen eye says probably be worth, $500,000 each, 500 gold pieces.
Okay.
Like, these are old masters.
Yeah. Are any of them a Devangelo?
One of them is a Devangelo. And it's near something else. There's a few other items in this room. There's a large centerpiece, which is... whereas previously the floors were just sort of stone, there's actually a low raised stone platform, which has been brought in here. It's a circular platform made of a different coloured dark stone with complex diagrams and geometric arrangements on it, and a familiar looking series of sigils around the outside in what you now recognise to be celestial. It is a platform which matches the one you found in the viewing tower in the ruined city in the Great Forest of Meadmere.
Oh.
As you even look at it, Scamp, you feel a strange sort of connection. Like there's some part of your magic which knows, which seems to understand this instinctively in some way, or not all the way, but there's something.
I want to go home now.
Oh, shit. Well, we can't do that.
Oh, there are a couple of other things in this room before we finish. There are 2 stands. One is a small stone stand with a glass bowl full of emeralds, just full of emerald cabochons. Like
yeah, let's
20.
have those.
Okay.
Well, we're not in the room yet.
Yeah, you're not in the room yet.
Yeah, okay.
And there is also beneath the painting, which was which you see from the little signature, is a Devangelo. Is also a small plinth with a kind of slightly battered old leather diary.
Ah, that's the diary. Okay.
All right.
So what do we do? This
Still on the precipice, you've not entered the room yet.
That platform looks a lot...
Oh, there's a far door as well. Sorry, I keep forgetting one last bit,
Okay.
which looks similar to the first door, but in this, instead of 4 cherub faces, there are 5 faces of grinning vipers with open mouths.
Well,
That's
thank you.
fucking scary, isn't it? So that plinth looks a lot like the one in the fucking pyramid to me.
everything we say can be heard.
Ah, true.
Actually, that seems interesting. I'll spend my question on that. What pyramid?
One in a forest.
There.
Question for a question, wasn't it?
Oh yes, your turn.
Who was speaking infernal?
That would be my mouthpiece, so to speak.
Interesting.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither. I'm pretending I do, but I don't. I say very quietly to Scamp.
New question. Are you all members of the same crew as Scamp here?
Yes, what's it got to do with you?
I'm going to start detect magic just
Yeah, you start
because
casting
I
this.
meant to do it when we were short resting and I forgot.
Well, because it has to do with me, because I am concerned that you have all been sent on the same mission as Scamp has.
We're not on some, secret mission. I really don't know what this man's talking about. Really struggling.
Can't help you as I drawing in chalks on the floor. Like the child I am.
You are a child.
Okay.
New question.
All right.
Who told you where to find this eye?
Who was that?
No one.
It was someone,
Did they?
but I'm not sure they're
Out of character, I literally can't remember.
You
I'm
received this
struggling.
information from Dionysus.
Oh.
No one told you.
Yeah.
No one told you. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I suppose he then told you, so technicalities.
Corzin.
Fair enough.
What other questions do we have? I'm interested in what mission he thinks you're on.
I'm interested in whether this circle belongs to him or his... What's his name? The dead guy in the back of the other room.
Destin.
Do you want to ask?
I'm busy. You do the asking. I'm drawing him a job.
Okay. Which one do we ask first?
There's so much sand, you can just draw in the sand.
Hold on.
What mission is it you think Scamp's on?
I think
Because we're pretty
that-
baffled down here.
I think that you were sent here to kill me for breaking off on my own and retrieve what you think is someone else's eye. New question.
Darling, we only heard your name from a fucking undead man, 3 hours ago. That's not a question, that's just a statement of fact. What's your question?
Where did you... Better question. What's your earliest memory, Scamp?
Oh. I'm not good at times. It's hard to place them. I'm concentrating. Was there a dragon? There was a flight. That wasn't it. Cold? I remember being cold. There was a cold winter. It might have been earlier. Or there was a hot summer. One of them came before the other. Not.
You don't remember any people? No one holding you?
I don't know if it's memories or dreams or nothing clear.
Very interesting.
How old am I meant to be in this memory?
That is a question.
Oh, I don't mean to. I'm drawing my circles.
That's not so much a question as a clarification of your question.
Question for a question. I can choose to not answer that if you like. Then you can ask a different question.
Up to Scamp.
Oh, I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't either, I'm really confused.
Is there an early memory that I'm forgetting?
No, your earliest memories are pretty much of Scarl's Cove. I think.
Yeah.
We've covered this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing I should be
No,
remembering.
there's nothing really special that should be coming up.
While this is going on, Corzin is going to be searching around the remains of the gargoyles to see if there are any chunks large enough that would fit in the holes of the viper mouths.
Ooh,
Good call.
There are, well, not necessarily amongst the gargoyles, but you splintered up quite a few statues. So I'll say that, you can find 5 chunks that could
It's a
conceivably,
really good shout.
cram into those viper mouths.
Once bitten, twice shy and all that.
Very good idea.
So I distribute these amongst the rest of you.
Where are we at with the questions at this point? I've lost
That's
track.
not a
darling.
question.
Not a question that you're asking him, a question you're asking us.
Yeah.
Leah says, I think we're on our question.
Oh.
Okay, so we get a question. Do you have a question?
Nothing really. Other than is this his circle?
Is this your circle or the circle of your mouthpiece, as you call it?
The one in the centre of the room, I believe Destin picked that up.
Oh, right, okay. Can we just stop with the mind games and have a conversation? This is so annoying.
Oh, you can have a conversation, certainly. I will await you in the next room.
The next room?
I'm right here.
I'm going to have a nap.
Like, in all seriousness, shall we have a rest?
Well, this room...
You can wait a bit,
you mean
can't
the
you?
next room after this one?
Yes.
Should we clear this room?
I mean,
Then have a nap?
I have a question, but I don't...
Ask it.
Are you planning on, like, fucking us up when we come in there? It's like, do you want to talk or do you want to fight? Like, what do you want here?
I think my intentions are pretty similar to your own.
Yeah, but you think we're trying to kill you. We're not.
We're really not. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you fucking weirdo.
We just want a bit of rock, a book,
And a jar.
A jar.
Literally all we require, really. Oh, we should really read the diary before we go and talk to him. That's the thing we should
just
do.
in case, yeah.
Or nick it, either way.
You could ask your mage hand to go and fetch it for you.
I'm a bit worried about what's in this room.
Well, exactly, that's why you sent your mage hand in, isn't
Yes, mage hand. Sorry, that's really... I don't like calling you that.
It's okay.
Could you get the book?
Yes. Give me a moment.
Okay.
I'm
There's
going
a
to keep a
sense.
spell ready in case anything starts appearing.
The book floats off the pedestal and begins to float over towards you. The majority of the book, as you sort of, it hovers in the space in front of you and kind of opens up a little bit and starts flicking through some pages until one of you can just take it. But just
Yeah, I'll take it.
okay. The early sections are the pretty much dull life of a painter from 300 years ago. There's some kind of sexy scandals, but otherwise not a lot.
Today I painted a picture. Today I painted another picture.
Pretty much.
Today I slept with a person.
Yeah.
Today I painted a picture of a guy I slept with.
Yeah. The last few
Books by
entries.
philosopher.
Yes. The last few entries are much more relevant as you catch sight of the first few sentences. Pass you those. And yeah, and you hear a voice. Well, that's very interesting. I guess you really did need that.
I think maybe we read this later because we can't talk about it when somebody's listening, can we?
Seems fair.
I'm just going to put this in my bag.
What can I say? We're art historians.
I'm
Quite
just
so.
such a Michel D'Angelo fan.
We just love his
She's
work.
got a big fucking boner for Michel D'Angelo. That's what it is.
Did we steal his paintings? We did that, didn't we?
Yes.
Well, the paintings are on the
They're
wall,
still
and when you
hanging
go
up.
in, you
Oh
can steal
yeah,
them.
we're gonna steal the paintings.
Okay.
We stole books.
Yeah.
But yeah, I put the book in my bag.
Okay.
And we will read it later.
Okay, a safer point. All right, so if you step into the room,
Just
Can you
tap
just
the
roll-
ground
roll a
directly in
thing?
front
okay,
of us.
tap the
before we
ground in
cross
front of
the
you,
circle.
roll
something
roll
into
thing
the-
in, it taps against the platform, nothing else happens.
Fuck it, I go in.
Okay, you step in,
Right.
nothing attacks you immediately.
I've got a question actually. When we came into the previous room,
Yeah.
did the door slam shut behind us on the bookcases that we placed there?
No, because your bookcase is in the way.
Okay, but it was actually like, you know... the bookcases
There was
were
no
placed-
pulling effort to try and close it automatically.
Oh,
either.
I see, right, okay.
Yeah.
Because
Fine.
we blocked it.
Fine.
Blocked
Okay.
it.
Block them. Snake mounts.
Yeah. Okay, so...
You all
Just
step
realised
into the
the
room.
gesture I did.
As you
was
step-
like I'm squeezing boobs, not not what I meant.
As you all move in, there is a sound as the door behind you does close and lock.
Oh, what a surprise.
Ah,
Oh.
Right, let's go block these mounds up.
Right,
Okay.
okay, so...
let's all help, actually.
You're going to need to help me to reach the taller ones.
I'll do it.
As you all reach forward, there is a moment where
To hold my breath.
you hold your breath,
Just
and
in
then
case.
there is a, and you see as you move to block up the mouths, you see the handle of the door suddenly turn downwards, and each of them begins to. All right. Each of you, I'd like each of you to roll a dexterity check to see whether you can get these mouths shoved up before they can act. So each of you, and then I guess
that's
Clara
good.
and thing as well.
Oh, natural 20.
19.
Was that a check or a...
Check. So
Okay, I'm going to use my DM inspiration, which I think is a D6.
yeah, do you still have that? Yes, and cross that off.
Yeah, that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so actually, that is a 12, not a 8.
Okay, so what did you guys get?
Wait.
19.
14.
14, sorry. No,
Dirty 20. No, 20.
Okay.
Natural 20,
1, 2,
which is...
3, 4. 4 of
22.
the 4 of the mouths are immediately blocked up as even Clara manages to shove hers in the way
Honestly, a fuck up.
in time. No, Corzin. Corzin is the one who got
Yeah.
below 15.
Yep.
Oh, Corzin.
Yeah.
He's just a little bit taller than you thought.
Whipping out of the of the faces of the face that is not blocked is a long razor-bladed whip, which attacks you. Yeah, that's a 26 to hit.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh, ow.
Oh,
Corzin.
You take 3 points of slashing damage, but make a Constitution save.
Grand. If this is poison, I have advantage.
You do.
I think I made it. That's 22.
Okay, that's fine. You take 16 halved to 8 poison damage. And you're resistant to poison as well, so it's actually halves further to 4 if I got that right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because you're
And the
because you're
slashing
halfling
damage
nature,
is
you
the
take
3.
half. Yeah, because if you're not a halfling nature, you take half damage from poison anyway. Don't
Yeah.
you? Yeah. So total of 7 points of damage as the wire flashes out and comes back in. Okay, now now give me another. Let's call this an athletics check as you're trying to shove against the wire as it's trying to lash back out.
Okay, athletics, that's 23.
You managed to jam that shut. Okay, with all 5 of the faces jammed. Just for the sake of it, Scamp, can you give me... Scamp, can you give me a Thieves' Tools check, please, if you want to try and if you want to try and use the combination lock to try and open this thing.
Well, what else is in the room before we go?
Corzin's going to
Okay.
say just
Anything else
generally.
good?
There's a few other, as I said, there is there's the plinth, the huge platform in the centre. There are the other paintings that Too Large to Carry. There is a bowl full of emerald cabochons.
Yeah, taking that.
Emeralds, yeah.
Okay, you reach over
emeralds.
as you pick up do you just grab the whole bowl?
Well, maybe check whether it's trapped first.
Yeah. I'm
Actually,
gonna...
you cast Detect Magic, didn't you? You spent 10 minutes doing
did.
that. Yeah. As you see Corzin ordering over to them, you
Corzin,
see
no.
all of the emeralds are glowing brightly
Corzin, don't touch that.
with
Alright.
some sort of transmutation
I
magic.
don't touch it. I don't touch it.
The transmutate.
Is that the one that changes stuff?
Yes, changed.
Right.
Maybe you'll turn into a frog if you touch them.
Or they're not real.
Well, I'd rather not if it's all the same to you.
They might have been something else, or they might do something. And just leave them.
Let's not. We're fine. We're all right for money.
As you back off, you peer and you can see the cabochons are actually carved into the shapes of little emerald scarabs. You pull away.
Oh God, no! Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. I'm just
Um,
gonna walk over to the circle and have a look at it.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
9.
Looks familiar to the one in the pyramid. You take a moment and you feel like if you took some time, you could write down or maybe memorize the series of sigils around the outside. They look slightly different to the ones in the pyramid, but beyond a strange instinct to do so, you've got no real reason to do that.
I just want to touch it.
Okay, as you touch it, you feel a sort of thrumming that echoes in some way with your internal magic, but it's like some part of you doesn't quite have enough to get through. And you hear a voice in your head go, "Patience, we'll get there."
I won't remember all of this. The letters and things.
It's okay. I can remember them for you.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as I'm with you, I can tell you those again.
Okay. Just gonna keep my hand on it for a moment while we're looking around the room.
Be careful. I can feel they're not broadcasting the same way. But I can feel something like us here.
Okay.
The good news is I don't think they can hear me.
Stay close.
Of course. I'm with you, friend.
I hear Scamp say, stay close. And I go, don't worry, we're here. I'm not going anywhere.
I just want to hug friend so bad.
Friend is incorporeal.
But I've got the skull in my
Yeah,
hand,
you sort
in
of-
my pocket.
Okay.
The other one. I'm going to walk one step away from
Okay,
this
so
thing.
we had the paintings that we can't nick, the book,
Which you
And
have.
the
which we
circle.
have.
And the
Circle,
scarab
which-
emeralds,
Yeah,
which
I
we're
mean-
not
Not
touching.
touching
Yeah,
those.
you conceivably could get the huge stone circle if you brought in a work team and
Yeah.
some rollers.
Yeah, I think we're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we just do this then?
I'm scared.
Yeah, me too.
And it's a weird scared.
How do you mean?
I mean, I think we can kill him if we have to. I think we can fight our way out, but I don't know who we're going to find on the other side of this door.
How do you mean?
He's not what he shows.
Yeah.
It feels wrong. There's someone else, and I don't like it. Scared of knowing what it is.
I am going to kneel down, put my hand to the ground, and cast Primeval Awareness.
Okay. You feel the same pulse of power go out and back in. Again, sensations-wise, definite that, first of all, the roar of the sea that comes from being near the eye of the storm.
So we're very close.
The stench of undeath, the hornpipe, the sort of brimstony little whistle of infernal.
Okay. I've got Infernal. And whatever it is, it's very close. If once we get that door open, I reckon I might be able to put my finger on it.
Eye of the storm as well?
Yeah, that's what's very close.
Okay.
The Infernal, can't tell you any more than it's
Someone here speaking infernal,
follows, doesn't it?
other than me.
Could it be a demon or something?
It's-
Or just another tiefling?
Well, I've done it around
I don't-
Scamp enough to know that
That's not me.
they
It's-
wouldn't show up like that.
If something infernal's pinging up and someone's speaking infernal, could be a coincidence. They could be two people. Gut saying they're not.
This feels bad, doesn't it? Anyone else feeling that?
We've been played.
But they, whoever they are, think we're something we're not.
Darling, you don't really know what you are.
I'm not here to kill them. I'm
You know you're not that.
I'm not on a mission.
No. We need to get some answers. And I think,
we've got to go for it.
yeah, the only
I
way
think
we're
that's the
going to do
only way.
that is to open this door.
We could stay here forever, run out of air, or we could...
I'd rather
I like
not.
that plan.
Darling, we're with you every step of the way.
Right.
Right, we are, says Leah. Clara nods.
Why is Clara? So
Clara's here to get a good look at that book you found when you eventually read it.
Ah.
Right, let's do
Okay,
this.
I'm gonna try and
try and open the door.
I assume the position once again.
Give me a roll.
It feels like it's going to be a hard dial, and I should tides it, but I'm so scared of not having tides. 17?
Okay. The good news is you're getting tides back. Roll a d100. It was already expended.
It? Oh no! I forgot I'd used it. 21.
Okay, as you begin to as you get a degree of increasing frustration, you just feel some sort of pulse of energy out of yourself. Okay. We're not going to remember this.
I'll make a note in my book.
So make a note that creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against the next spell you cast in the next minute that involves a saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, that's really good, actually.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Genuinely
potentially
helpful.
very helpful. Yeah.
What spells
it's
have
1
saved?
minute.
Oh yes, fireball.
Fantastic. Let's just go ahead and kill him before we talk to him.
It's just like, no, fuck it.
No, fuck it.
If he's a demon, fire ain't going to do much.
Yeah.
Okay. However, you have times back.
Alright.
Do we know what these vault doors are likely made out of?
Steel.
Steel. Okay, so it's not lead, though. That's the important thing.
You don't know for sure whether they have a lead lining in them. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to give you one more. Give it one more check. Just to see whether you can get it open within the next minute, or if we just have to sort of take 20 and say it takes you 5 minutes.
I'm gonna tides it then.
Okay.
Because fuck it.
It's good.
That'll do it, I hope. Otherwise it's not getting open.
Yeah.
It's a 22.
And that's enough. I'm going to say you still have 8 rounds left at the start of next time.
Okay.
As with the last a few, you pull down the lever, open the door, and step into the last chamber. And that, gentle listeners, is where we will pick up next time.
Oh.
Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you all very much for listening. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s. You fight your way from door to door, trapped in the vaults of a collector. But as we drop first mask, then mask, we play a game of questions asked.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.